Fastmark, we are anything but neutral. Here for the parade. Disappointed, I hope. Willkommen. Welcome to Helvetia, home of America's finest Fastmark celebration. We are still preparing for the festivities, but do return soon. Our sausages are the worst.
You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcast.
In the interests of the spirit of the round table of stepping outside of your comfort zone.
The worst. Hello and welcome to the 451st edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight I've got Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Creeps, everybody.
And also Ray. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, hello.
Tonight on the show, we're going through our big first batch of feedback for our Roundtable Fallout 3 DLC. We're still in the ramp-up phase. You're not too late. If you want to hop on board, please join us. The more, the merrier. And you can join Jeff, Janet, Suliore, Vanessa, Calm Horizons, and Lou as our feedback crew for this season. We'd love to have you aboard. Send your 5-minute feedback to thefalloutfeed@gmail.com to participate in our project. We'd love to have you. So tonight, we'll get through some feedback, and if there's time, I prepared a couple of games. We've got a Mapital Wasteland. You know, we've been doing that Which Direction the Map game. Mapital Wasteland, you know, Capital Wasteland. Come on.
Mapital Wasteland. Very clever.
Punny. And also a great new edition of Helter Shelter returning, and it looks like we've got a whole slew of iguana bits, so lots of stuff to get into this evening. Why don't we go ahead, roll into our gameplay off the top like we usually do get into here. Ray, did you get a chance to play any video games this week, sir?
I did indeed. It was a very exciting week. We got the latest update to No Man's Sky. So we've got a new expedition running. And
it has something to do with ohms, right?
Yes.
What electricity or so? What is it?
The Omega update.
Update.
And lot of fun stuff cooking. It's been very anticipated. We thought we might get this back in November, but
oh Lord,
alack and alas. So. Been running through that. It's got some new stuff to it, some updates to the space anomaly, some nice little additions there, and so been having a good time doing that. Also, been running around commandeering ships from those. Nasty spacers, pirates, Ecliptic, and Varun zealots.
They don't need them. You're going to kill them anyway. What would they need a ship for after that?
So
and the occasional Galbank.
Does that mean you're on the Crimson Fleet? Is that what that means? What team are you on?
No, I'm Team Belter.
I was going to say, yeah. He's very much his own team.
Your own team.
Yeah, I'm an equal opportunity pirate. So
if I flipped on No Man's Sky at this point, and I haven't loaded it in like 2 years, 3 years, I don't know how long it's been. Would my game even load? Like, does it? I mean,
it would absolutely load.
There's an update. Oh wait, there's an update to the update. Oh wait, there's an update to the update to that update, right?
Yeah, it would just load the latest update. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
they're full packages.
Unlike Windows, they can give it to you all at once.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, even if you were a No Man's Sky expert when you stopped playing, you would have no idea what to do now.
Oh, and
The game has changed
I was
so
far
radically.
from that. As we all know, I was very far from that.
But it's nice. I like what they've done with the game. It's just a testament to a dedicated developer. So gotta
And
hand it to them.
the new game, right? They have a new one coming out.
Yeah, still no release date on
everyone's
that. We're
excited.
getting kind of antsy.
Could be a year or two. I mean, first taste sometimes they let us, a year or two ahead. But
Yeah,
it does look
could
awesome.
be, and you never know with these guys.
I was so excited to see the emoji that I actually dropped in our chat, Andrew. You probably noticed. And I'm like, Ray, we got an
Yeah.
emoji like 3 hours after tweeted. He's like, yeah, I know already.
Yeah, Ray has his ear to the ground.
And this one was probably the most known in advance update that they've ever had. So we were kind of chomping at the bit because we kept getting notifications that the internal branch had updated several times, and it's like okay. And then finally the experimental branch updated, and there was no NDA on it. So people started immediately streaming and showing all the new stuff. And so by the
Nice.
time the update actually kicked in, we were all well aware of what was coming down the pipe. But it's fun nonetheless. So
You spoiled yourself.
so I'm right now. I'm kind of chomping at the bit a little bit on Starfield. My functional brig mod isn't working,
Still.
and so I got so it updated back in November and started working, but I hadn't used it in a long time. So I finally threw some brigs on my current ship, and Kamina Drummer was trying to take people alive, and it wouldn't give me the option to send them to the brig. So I noticed that the developer, the modder, mentioned that they were working on it, and that they had finished an update and were testing it, but still hasn't dropped yet. So fingers crossed on that one, because that's a fun little gig to have, is to be able to incapacitate people and throw them in the brig.
How dare they interrupt your fun?
I know, right? So pitchforks and torches.
I'm glad you're still having fun with this character and that you did launch into the whole Belter concept. The Belter, you're staying around the Mars area for this one? Is that how you're doing it?
No, I thought about that. Just sticking to the planets that are talked about in the Expanse, but you just don't get, for one, the Sol system is too low of a level.
Mm-hmm.
So you very quickly become overpowered. And that's just not fun. And plus you don't get, it's just hard to beat the enemy frequency that you get in Serpentis, which really cranks the levels. And so I've expanded out. I'm still sticking with the half a G or less. So I don't go anywhere where there's, more than a half a G. So I don't go to Jemison or
A lot of the major planets.
most of them. So
Is-
most of my selling is all done at the den, and it's
Is 1G the pressure at Earth at sea level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
You've had this character for 2 weeks now?
yeah, it's been a few.
Wow.
The one of the mods that I loaded, lets you mine asteroids, so that's been fun.
Plays right into the
you
Belter
mentioned that,
persona.
right. I do have a base on a planet that has 0.4 Gs. So that's handy.
What is our moon? What would that be? Because the footage of them on the moon, they're like bounding and
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know
got
off the
to
top
be
of my
pretty
head.
low.
Mhm.
So that's been fun. And then of course my Fallout 3 character
Yeah.
is busy running around. The levels are coming much slower now. So I'm
Only
level
level
11 now.
I was gonna say level 13, 14 by now.
In chat, Clint comes in it says it's 1/6 gravity. Yeah, so about 16 or 17% of Earth gravity. So pretty low.
Yep. So my main goals have been to do a bunch of bobblehead collecting to get some of my stats up. So, and then on my perks, I've mostly been taking intense training because I had to get my strength up. So for a melee character, a strength of 3 really sucks.
Yeah, it
So,
does. No good.
so right away I got the bobblehead, and then I took a couple levels of intense training to get my strength up. Then I went and did the ants in that quest. Those
the fire things.
fire breathing ants.
Yeah.
Sucks when you're a melee character, gotta say.
Those is holy shit. I think I just got that. That's a reference to them, isn't it?
Yes.
Good Lord, I can't believe I didn't get that before.
And so I got ant might, so that gave me another level of strength. So at this point, my strength is 10, and my melee is 100. So now my current trajectory is I've gotten 2 of the 3 shish kebab plans. So each one of the schematics that you get for the same weapon increase its strength and durability. So I want to get my maximum shish kebab.
What is the estimated difference of damage you would do with strength of 3 versus strength of 10 with the same weapon?
Well, so your multiplier is half of your strength. So at strength 3, my multiplier was 1.5. And with strength 10, now
It'd be
it's
5.
It's 5.
So significant.
Yeah. So I've also since I got melee up and everything, I started working on sneak, and so right now I'm on my way to try to get the sneak bobblehead, which is in the Yaogwai den. So
Which Yaogwai den? Where? Is there a big one?
Yeah, there's one. Basically it's just a cave full of Yaogwai.
Oh,
You know what you
wow.
could really use to sneak through a cave full of Yaogwai is a sneak bobblehead.
Yeah,
Too bad you
it
have
would
to
be nice if it would be somewhere where you didn't have to sneak to get to it. But
sneak through the bears first, just to sneak back through them. Can you get both ways, or will they automatically wake up once you pick it up?
no, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Ooh. Okay, so this probably isn't a concern because leveling up is a lot slower in 3. But in 4, Pat always had this thing where he would say, "Oh no, you level up to this level and then you get the bobblehead and then you finish the." Is it like you level up to 9 and then got the bobblehead and then, or no? You'd have to level
Yeah,
to
'cause
10 and then get the bobblehead.
Yeah, you can't get if you have 10 and then you get the bobblehead, you got nothing.
So you get the bobbleheads first and then level up to 10. But
Yeah.
that's not really
Although-
an issue in 3 because levels aren't nearly as fast.
And it's
right?
not 10, so it's 10 for all of the special items.
Mhm.
But sneak is a skill.
Right.
And so you don't want, so like with melee, the melee bobblehead, and that adds 10. So now my melee is 100. If I get any more melee, like if I get a Grognak magazine or anything like that, my melee is still only going to be 100.
Ray,
So-
I'm thinking about it and checking the locations, and I don't know if I've ever been in those Yaogwai tunnels. I honestly don't know if I've ever been all the way over there and done that.
Yeah, it's a good place not to go.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah. But I want that sneak bobblehead, so I'm going to give it a try. So I've gotten quite a few of the bobbleheads. So at this point, what do I have? I've got of course the medicine, melee. I got the repair bobblehead, explosives, lockpick, and then strength, perception, intelligence, and agility. So,
And repair actually is valuable in this game, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah, because it gives you
not
plus-
for fucking power armor.
right. It doesn't
Or
make your battery
fusion
last longer
cores
in your power.
yeah. Ugh, so dumb.
So each one of the skill bobbleheads gives you a plus 10 to that skill.
Okay. And then
It's a big bonus.
you said there's either books or magazines. I forget which.
Skill books.
Skill books.
And since I have comprehension, that gives me 2 points for each of the skill books that I pick up.
And you can get comprehension at like level 4 or something?
4.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I didn't get it till 7 because I had others that I needed more. And I just collected the books and kept them in a drawer in the house.
What
And
level are
waited.
you up to now, did you say?
I'm level 11.
So
Wow,
what,
okay.
What are those ones that you want to take early that benefit you the most? There's like one that you get more skill points each
Yeah,
time
that's
you level up?
educated.
Educated. Okay.
Yeah, that one you take at level 4.
Yep. Comprehension, you want to get soon after.
Educated and comprehension. Okay.
Yeah, those are both good to get early, because the earlier you get them, the more use you get out of them.
They compound, yeah.
Yeah, and comprehension is not as important because
'Cause you need to
you
find
just
books.
save the books up and wait until you get that perk before you read them.
Okay.
And then that'll run all your skills up.
Like we're not going to click on them in our inventory. Have you seen
Oh.
Andrew and I play?
But it's so shiny. You gotta click it.
No, don't do it. Put it in the drawer.
Does it disappear if you click it?
I put the skill books and pre-war books in the filing cabinet next to the bed in my megaton house. So
Skill books and
Excellent.
pre-war books. Nice. Which
yeah, definitely grab all the pre-war books that you see, because those you're going to turn in to the scribe at the library.
Oh, they actually have that. They're not overdue. Like in Fallout 4, it was the overdue ones that were were notable.
Yeah, these are
all okay.
These are just the clean books.
Yeah.
Yep. So many collectibles. So many collectibles.
You pick up the books in Starfield and read those ever, Ray?
Only, well, I do pick them up, and I don't read them, because you got to sell them to the lady at Sinclair Books, because certain
nice.
books you'll get $2,000 a pop for the books if
for the first copy,
the old world books that she wants.
Neat. I did not know that.
So, yeah, and you pick up a few of them at the beginning of the game. There's a bunch of them in the facility at Crete that you go through, and then also there's 2 or 3 of them in the common room at the lodge.
Yeah, when you come across a book that is an Earth classic, definitely think about it, because it's for her private collection. You know what I mean? Like for her personal collection, so she'll pay a lot.
And last literature question here, Ray. How many copies of The Lusty Argonian Maid are in your stash?
A couple of times I've tried to be a book collector in Skyrim, but I mean, even if you're using the Legacy of the Dragonborn mod, where you can actually get you get credit for having books in your library, I just can't do it. There's just not enough benefit. It's it's kind of like achievements. If you're not going to actually give me something tangible for my activity, I'm not going to do it.
You get the satisfaction of a job well done, Ray.
Even a gold star. No.
No. Give me a stack of caps. Give me some skill points.
He wants a scroll to pop down with some sort of new magic. Yay! You get the scribe's honor, where you can now alphabetize books with a wave of your hand.
Summon librarian. She comes up and she tells all the dragons, "No shouting."
Yeah. Yeah. So, which is also why I don't have a crew. Because
yeah, absolutely,
they have a tangible impact on my gameplay. So, and it's not good.
When you were talking about the modder earlier, who needed to update a mod in order for you to continue playing, I was thinking, man, the internet's such a toxic place. I bet you modders probably take a lot of flack and stuff, like if they haven't got their updates out soon enough or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then I was thinking, wait a second, these guys do this for free, right? So they're taking a bunch of shit.
For fun.
They do this for fun, and they're taking shit from people for fun. Why did? And then I was thinking, Patreon, I guess, is this how they get paid? If people are nice enough to donate to them,
Nexus Mods has a system that you can donate to modders. There's a few different ways to do it.
Yeah,
but
they probably take shit.
They're doing it for the fun. They do it because they want to do it for themselves and share it with everybody else. And they have to learn, to deal with that, BS that they get from people. So many times it's because the person screwed up when they installed the mod, where they put it in their load order, any number of things that are not the modder's fault.
They didn't read the README.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. The order of operations. And I mean, sometimes you just have to turn off comments on their mods. It's like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this. Comments off.
Yeah.
But the most common way to get paid in the past was coffee. Even before Patreon, I feel like coffee was a big thing, or Ko-fi, and then Patreon, of course. And of course, now these days, creations, paid
Yeah.
mods. There's a reason for that because people deserve to get paid for their work. But you're right. It's like putting out a podcast each week. You don't do it for the money. And hopefully people respect that.
I'm still hoping to get rich off of this thing someday, Jess. Right? Come on. That Fallout TV show is going to hire us to be the podcast crew in the vault, right? We're gonna be the three in the vault.
Talking
the
Fallout,
radio
absolutely.
station. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna be the radio station people. Oh, did you guys see the kids in the hall reboot?
No.
Oh god damn, this is the best. Kids in the Hall did a new season. I don't know, last year, a couple years ago now, probably. But there's a great radio station in a Fallout vault sketch from that season. Go look it up. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it.
Aren't they all in their late 40s now?
Oh, 50s. Some of them probably early 60s. They're old men. Just
old kids in the hall.
Old young funny
geezers
Canadian
in the
guys.
hall. That'll be the new show.
I clash your head. Right. Ray, what else gameplay wise you getting into?
That was pretty much it.
Maxing strength and melee. You said your melee was already up to 100.
Yeah.
But with a strength of 3, you only have a... Okay, so what does it mean when you have a multiplier of 1.5? That you take the base damage of the weapon and just multiply it by 1.5, and that's the damage you're going to do, right?
Yeah, and I think it's actually it also impacts the critical hit chance.
Oh, good lord.
So...
I hate that that's not controlled in VATS. You like that it's just random and
it's the old system.
Yeah, because I like to get crits outside of VATS because 9 times out of 10 I'm not using VATS for the attack.
Well, okay. Well, that's the difference between you and I, sir. 9 times out of 10 I am.
Especially in Fallout 3 where most people are using VATS. But yeah, I like it being random too. A crit should pop when you roll a 20, or you get a high roll. Admittedly, you don't see that in Fallout, but still the same kind of thing,
Yeah, and since I run the shish kebab, my level 12 perk will be Pyro. Because that perk will also buff the flame effect on my shish kebab.
Awesome.
It'll take it from an extra 5 burning points to 5.2 burning points or something?
I believe it's a little more than that. But,
okay. And is that the thing where you had to find the lawnmower blade, the motorcycle handlebar or something or other, the fucking gas can, something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's all to make the shish kebab.
And the pilot lights from the ovens.
Don't you know we can just go over to Finch Farm and steal one?
Yeah, but these break down.
Oh, there's more than one.
So this one, whenever my shish kebab starts to break down, then I make a new one and use the broken down one to bring the level of my new one up even higher.
Oh, killer. That's a really good strategy.
Do you have to find the new lawnmower blade each time you want to make one?
Oh yeah. New
Okay.
lawnmower blade. I have a stash of them. So whenever I come across any of those components, I'm scooping them up and dropping them off. And,
are there 4
in
items?
Megaton.
How many items are there that go into that?
4, yeah.
4.
So it's a lawnmower blade, motorcycle gas tank, motorcycle handbrake, and the pilot light. And that makes your shish kebab. So after I get done over at the Agawai Cave getting my sneak bobblehead, then I've got to go over to the Brotherhood Remnant Shack and get the third plan so that I can make level 3 shish kebabs.
Oh, wow.
And the night it's nice when I'm using the Stab Happy. It's not always easy to tell when you've actually hit something, because you can swing a lot and never hit. But with the shish kebab, there's never any doubt, because they light on fire.
Yeah, Jess, you were saying people use VATS a lot because the down the sights view is
Right.
untrustworthy or a little skew. Or
Yeah,
a
the
little
lack
weird
of
or
iron
something.
sights makes a big difference. Melee, it's not as big of a deal because you can get in there and just start, just whacking.
I was just about to say, I went swinging a baseball bat and I could not fucking hit a rad roach to save my life. The broadside of a damn barn with a baseball bat. I'm like, how is this thing not dead yet? Oh, I'm not hitting it. Weird.
It's still better in VATS. It's still better in VATS in 3, but you run out of your VATS action points to get in there. You just get really close and just flail it around.
And what I find, I only got one swing per VATS cycle. Like, am I just like really low on agility, or what is wrong? What
Yeah, if you only get one swing, then you have low agility.
Wait, let me
and
look at my
the
picture.
weapon has a high AP cost.
Right. Maybe using a two-handed weapon or something. Because the bat shouldn't be that bad. I can usually get at least 3 swings.
Wait, I had my picture pulled up. Where'd that go?
Yeah, I think the bat. I think all the two-handed stuff is pretty high, because I can only get 3 stab happy.
What is the stab happy you keep mentioning? What is that?
It's a combat knife with a high
okay.
crit chance.
Oh,
You get it with a really fun
you
name.
mentioned that last week, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so you can repair it with any combat knife, but also the raiders in the shack where you get it respawn. So you can have multiple stab happies. So, and if I could rename one, I'd have one was called Stab Happy, and the other one would be Stab Happier.
Stab happiest.
What about stab angry?
Stabbiest, happiest. Oh, hilarious. Yes.
Yeah, I've got a lot of locations unlocked around the map. I've been doing a lot of running around, going all over the place. So the Yaguai Cave will be the first big push to the west.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got, I've been up as far as the Republic of Dave.
You've been that far north already? Wow.
Yeah, to get the bobblehead up there.
Okay.
Which is it's a pretty easy walk from Canterbury Commons.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Along the edge of the map, that's Perception up there, right?
Probably. I don't remember
Think.
exactly.
See, whenever I try to get there, I'm usually going up the middle and then across, and you got to go through Old Only, and it's a horrible thing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
no, you stay away from Old Only.
I like your idea.
All right, I pulled up my character thing. I have an agility of 5. It feels lower than that. I can only get one swing with that baseball bat.
Yeah, mine's 7 now. It started out at 6, and I've got the bobblehead. So,
and 4, you could also buff your specials on a level up. Can you do that in 3?
yeah, intense training.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep, a big help.
Yeah, so you can start taking that at level 2.
And see what's giving you so much trouble. Try a few other weapons.
But yeah, so then I'll take intense training one more time for perception, because one of my assigned perks is infiltrator,
Mm-hmm.
which requires a perception of 7. And
So far, my only intense training was in Perception. I like having higher perception, being able to detect enemies and everything it does for you.
yeah, I would have left it at 5 I mean 6, because I would have gotten the bobblehead. But I just needed 7 to be able to get that perk that I was assigned.
Mhm.
So, and then it also requires lockpick of 70, which I'm already way past that. I think my lockpick at this point is 90.
Wow, you're getting right up there. That's awesome.
And I've already got the bobblehead, so the rest of it will have to come from skill points.
You
So I get 20 skill points every level.
you're assigned tag skills, I guess they're called. Gosh, there's also perks. See, tag
Yep.
skills were from
That's just your bonus
That-
plus 15 right at the start.
that test thing, the GOAT test, right?
Yes.
Or not.
Yep,
Yeah.
that would be your occupation, or you just pick them manually.
Okay. Yeah, I just skipped that. And then the perks are what you pick every other level up. Is that right?
Every level.
This one's
every level up. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Which one was
Yeah,
every
New
other?
Vegas.
What was that?
that was New Vegas.
Yep.
Why they do that? That's so lame.
Well, I agree.
Yeah, but it was better than 1, which was every 3 or 4.
Yeah, that was no fun. Like, let me make fun choices every time, please. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And unless you have the anxiety of choice, in which you just stockpile them because you're always scared to make the wrong choice.
Yep.
And then you have a weak character.
So my character is still very good. And I finally, the stupid Talon Company mercs, I've seen them like 4 or 5 times now, but they're at the wrong subway exit. So I'll come out of the subway exit and I'll see them, down the block at the other one, waiting for me to come out.
Mhm.
But they finally caught up with me, which I was like, okay, finally. I've been running around in stupid pain spike armor, and with my metal shoulder pads and metal bra.
I bet you look amazing. I bet you look fantastic.
You do.
You're
And
finally
so
getting some of that
it's like,
Talon Merc armor.
Finally, so now I've got Talon Merc armor, and
Thank goodness.
it. So you can kind of farm that because you need, you need to have a steady supply of Talon Company to be able to repair your armor. So I'll just go into a subway, turn around and come back out and try to get them to spawn, so that I can get repair parts for my armor.
Remind me, who's the Talon Company and who are the other bad guys? So, like, if you're on one side, someone attacks you. If you're on the other side attacks you. Who are those people?
So if you're good, then the Talon Company attacks you.
Meaning your
karma
what's
is
that
good.
called? The karma. So I'm evil. The Talon
so
Company
you're-
will attack you if you're good. So if I'm evil, I will be attacked by
Regulators.
mount up. Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
And then if
Let's
you're
do it.
neutral, nobody bothers you.
How much fun is that, right?
It's not. I mean, how? Where else are you going to get your combat armor?
There are times when Talon shows up at like the worst possible time. You're like, really? Right now? I'm barely holding on. But a lot of the time, grateful for that armor, like you said.
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So one of the times I popped out, on one corner, there was 3 mad Brahmin,
wait.
and on
what?
the other corner were 3 Talon Company mercs, and so they fought each other until the other side was dead, and then I just went in and mopped up and collected.
Nice.
What is Mad Brahmin a a clever name, or they're
No,
not?
it was just a little herd
Three.
of Brahmin that were pissed off.
Mad Brahma disease. It's twice as bad. They got 2 heads.
Oh
and shit.
no!
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it does come from spinal tissue, so it would be twice as bad with it.
Yes, it was.
Dangerous stuff.
Goodness sakes!
I just realized, when
What?
they count cattle, they count them by the head.
They do.
Does that mean a herd of Brahmin is worth twice as much as regular cattle?
double head? They can't be bad.
Very tricky.
So
Commerce finds a way. They would they would change that measure.
what are little surefire ways you can use to affect your karma rating?
So just doing nice things for people. The quick and easiest way is whenever you see one of the beggars sitting around, like out in front of River City, you give them a bottle of water, and that'll be
Right.
+1 karma.
You mentioned that one. I'm evil, so I've been giving everyone smart ass comments and being like just a general jerk, and that doesn't seem to do anything.
No, that doesn't do
kinda-
much.
You're gonna have to murder.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, you can cannibalize corpses.
Steal. Oh, cannibalize. Nice.
You can
Stealing
steal.
is a big one. Once you start selling ears of good characters, like once you meet Daniel Littlehorn and get the contract killer perk, if you do, you can start selling ears of good people to him. You lose karma every time you do that. Once you get the Mesmetron, you can enslave people. You get a lot of negative karma from enslaving people, thank goodness.
Nice.
Yeah,
As
there's
you
a
should.
bunch of quests. Like there's a number of ways during quests that you can do it.
Yeah.
You can blackmail. The Moriarty terminal stuff. Like if you find the info on other people in Megaton on Moriarty's terminal, you can use it against people. So you can like blackmail people and such.
Sweet.
You can even, and I would never, ever, ever, ever do this. But if you convince Moira Brown not to write the Wasteland Survival Guide, you're going to lose karma. Mhm.
So just fail that whole quest, and I'll have to deal with it all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you do have to be careful though, because if you kill bad people, then you get good karma.
Oh
So
no! How do I know when they're bad? Do they have like a little skull and crossbones over their head?
no,
Damn it!
just got to know their disposition.
You can usually tell.
Yeah.
But you'll find out as you go deeper in, and once you start meeting the slavers and hooking into more quest lines, you run into characters that are obviously good or obviously bad, and things you
Yeah.
can do.
And if you really want to go deep in the bank and have a nice big pool of negative karma credit, just blow the nuke.
Blow up
Yeah.
Megaton, right?
Yep.
Nice. Cool. Ray, did you have any other gameplay stuff you want to mention?
I think that covers it.
Covers it. All right. Jess, how about you? Did you get a chance to play any video games this week?
I did. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to bring up, actually.
Oh, nice. Let's get into it. What you got?
Yeah, so gameplay-wise, Fallout 3, I didn't actually play that much Fallout 3 this week, I'll admit. I was kind of sick last weekend. I just wasn't feeling great, and I wasn't feeling great to the extent that I didn't even really want to play Fallout that much. So, like, I played some Baldur's Gate with the time I had, and off and on during the week, but just not as much gameplay in general as I wanted. Getting to bed early, like the worst. Getting enough sleep.
Ugh. But it's so nice, isn't it?
I mean, kinda. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was great. I woke up with a well-rested perk a couple times this week, which was good, but it kind of gets nullified by the but I feel sick perk. So, you get the two of them together. Kind of a happy medium. But one thing that was brought up while we were talking, stuff you can collect. So keep in mind, Fallout 3 has more collectibles than any of the other games. Okay, so we're talking bobbleheads, of course, but I wrote this out like a week or two ago talking to somebody. So collections, things you can do. Scrap metal, which you can give to Walter in Megaton. So scrap metal for him.
Okay, but there's also, you can give it to the remnant leader at what's that? It's their little fort, where you beat them underneath the bridge, and they've got their little their little fort with the fence around it. There's a guy walking around out there. You can sell it to him
Okay.
as well.
Okay, so scrap metal to those two guys. The books, of course, to Arlington Public Library. The Nuka-Cola Quantum, you're going to give to Sierra, ultimately, for her quest. Fingers or ears, like we were talking about. Ears go to Daniel Littlehorn. Let's see. Sugar bombs. I always got to look up who they go to, but I did while we were talking. And sugar bombs go to a ghoul named Murphy in Seneca Station. He uses sugar bombs to make Ultrajet. Because remember when Will did the chem list with us the other day? But Ultrajet uses sugar bombs in it along with the regular jet ingredients. So you got that. You got blood packs. Blood packs go to Vince and the family at Moresty Station. Holotags for the Brotherhood, I believe. And Chinese assault rifles, which go to somebody up in Paradise Falls. Right, Ray? I think that's where it is.
I don't think I've ever
gun
sold
dealer
those.
up there. Yeah, I mean, well, they're too good to actually use, right? To use and upgrade. I mean, there are other weapons. If you're not using, if assault rifles don't work for your build, you wouldn't. But yeah, so all those items, that's a total of scrap metal, books, quantum, fingers, ears, sugar bombs, blood packs, holotags, and Chinese assault rifles.
Nice.
So a lot of collectible items. I just wanted to mention, wrote that down.
And that kind of reminds me. So one thing about stealing, Andrew, is that you can pick stuff up and carry it off somewhere where people won't bust you. So like if you're at Rivet City in the marketplace, everything that's laying out on the tables, you can pick those up and carry them behind the dumpster and drop them, and then go back and crouch down and steal them there. And then that way you get the negative karma for stealing, but you don't get busted.
They don't get agitated at you and attack or whatever.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's always handy. Find a nice little corner to hide stuff behind and then go steal it there.
Okay, so which is it? Did you see me or didn't you? Come on. Really? Here, let's go.
Well, yeah. Karma saw you.
So I thought it was interesting, too, that the new update for No Man's Sky is Omega because of the way it ties into the whole biblical verse that the entire Fallout 3 game is based around. Now, had you guys ever... So it's said that this is your mother's favorite verse, okay? Your father, James, says, this was your mother's favorite verse. Insert your best Liam Neeson impression there. And, it's, I am the Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. Now, this is not a quote I'd ever heard or heard someone even mention in church. So do you think this is actually a popular quote? Or did Bethesda scour the Bible being like, where's something about water?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how popular it is.
Yeah, I think there's 10 billion passages about water in the damn Bible. So, I mean, they could have picked any
Maybe
numerous ones.
They liked the use of Omega in there too, like Omega and the water and, waters of life, all that. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny. So also with our intro, Fashnock is going on right now, which I don't know. I know Ray hasn't. Andrew, have you run any Fashnock in your gameplay yet?
I've done one.
Oh my God, we're tied. I've done one and it was on PC. We are so bad this year. But this is our 6th or 7th Fashnocht.
Yeah.
But it occurred to me that people say you don't want to know how the sausages are made. And that's especially true of Fallout 76 Fashnocht sausages. If y'all don't remember the recipe, it is boiled water, intestine, spices, spoiled meat, not regular meat, spoiled meat, tick blood, and wood.
Where do you think that tang comes from? Is that spoiled meat? Yeah.
That tick blood. I mean, you don't know where those ticks have been.
I mean, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
you could be
on you.
Fashnock sausage. My blood's in it.
They've been in an irradiated dumpster over there. That's.
It's just nasty. It's nasty. Clint saying no different from IRL sausages. I mean, pretty much, but I prefer my meat unspoiled and my blood tickless.
But wait a minute. didn't you order a pepperoni pizza?
I did today, yes.
Spoiled meat.
Wait, really? Is there something to that?
It's dried. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you make a like a salami or that you're hanging that
They call it curing so you don't get grossed out.
right, room temperature. They add salt so that it doesn't grow deadly bacteria, but it definitely grows beneficial bacteria.
Are you saying cured meat or dry aged beef or what have you is actually like gone a little bit bad, like pickled or something?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well,
So
never asked
Fleischstock
how the
sausage
pepperoni is
not
made
that-
or the
and
sausage.
and if it's natural casings, that is intestines.
And definitely not your scrapple. It's been on my mind. I know I've mentioned it like a couple of weeks in a row, I think.
And
But-
there's the very delicious pork and rice sausage that you get in New Orleans called
Mhm.
boudin
Yeah, good stuff.
is blood sausage.
Oh. Now, blood sausage, it's just pig blood, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
no,
making
not
sure.
tick blood. Because
Pig love.
it's not until after the apocalypse that ticks get big enough that you can get enough blood to make sausage.
Oh,
Because
jeez.
when they're little, I mean, can you imagine how many ticks you'd have to squeeze to
Can
get
you-
enough tick blood to make a sausage?
Can you milk a tick? You can milk anything if it has nipples. I don't think they do. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. So anyway, that's how the
Definitely
sausage is
not
made. I just wanted a
males.
couple things that I was thinking about that I wrote down while we were all talking. But the game I actually played was Baldur's Gate this week. Besides being sick and, a little bit of Fallout 3. Oh, I was telling Suliore in chat too. Like a couple of times I say go to bed early. It meant I looked at the menu, listened to the music until I started to fall asleep without actually loading the game. That counts. That's like a nap before actual sleep, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as you're comfy.
Totally counts.
Baldur's Gate, I probably put another 10 hours in this week. So
Nice.
I'm definitely, I'm loving it. It's great.
Is there any delicious food in Baldur's Gate?
Delicious food that you can ruin for me. There is probably some, but it's not too focused on food. And there's an interesting mechanic. So anytime you want to do a full rest or a long rest, as it's called, go back to camp, spend the night, heal up and everything, you have to commit camp supplies to that and resources. So this is all stuff you pick up along the way. So I've actually got pig's head and pig's feet, stuff like that in there. Got all kinds of alcohol counts as a camp supply. So got all kinds of wine and brandy and stuff like that. Dried meats and sausages, keep it on theme. Lettuce, apples, all the good stuff. So anyway, you go to sleep, you need a certain amount. So you just like pick items to add in till you hit the number 40 and you get a long rest, which is really kind of a cool mechanic. So if you don't have the food, you can't get a full rest, but it's not too hard to get. There's plenty of it. And yeah, Suliore mentions in chat, there's an achievement for getting a long rest on just alcohol. Funny thing about that, they just had an update for Baldur's Gate yesterday, I think. And they added it so that if you do a long rest only on alcohol, you get a debuff called Hangover for the first 10 turns after you sleep.
Sounds appropriate.
Yeah, very appropriate, right? But so I'm playing Baldur's Gate, and it's really neat. I'm still in Act 1. Take my time exploring the map. I've been talking about it a lot over in our Baldur's Gate chat. A bunch of us in there playing, because as we know, Will's addicted, and Jen, and a number of our other friends, Tim and Suliore, and just a bunch of people, Bernan and Andon, everybody playing Baldur's Gate. So we're kind of talking through it, and I've been doing kind of like feedback, where every couple days after I've played like another 3-4 hours, I just kind of type out what I've done. And it's amazing how much there is in this game. And I'm finding things that the people who played a bunch, haven't found yet. At the same time, they're telling me about things that I haven't seen yet at my level that, you would think that I would. But I'm slowly discovering the whole map like I do. It is isometric. So it's a different feel. And the one negative about the game, I would say, for Baldur's Gate, for those that haven't played, is that if you don't love isometric games and you don't like cameras, you can't zoom out all the way. You can't zoom out the camera enough. Like, you can't pick your angle and zoom out just right and set your camera just the way you like it. You're either in close moving up, but the further away from your character you get, the more that you start to move upward. So if I want to be zoomed out from my character but looking forward, you can't do that, unfortunately. It's on like a swivel, so that makes it a little bit hard. But I could do well enough. But yeah, I keep discovering things, new characters, really enjoying it. For anyone who has played Baldur's Gate who's listening, so you know where I'm at. I'm Act 1. I've discovered the Goblin Camp but haven't explored it. I made it to the Zentarum hideout and into the Underdark. And I have met Auntie, I'm forgetting her name. Ellen, Ethel, Auntie Ethel. And I've kind of discovered her secret and found the swamp and all that, but I haven't fought her yet. So, and I have met Lae'zel's people, but I haven't finished her whole side quest with them, just on the first part of it. So I've got to choose one of those things this weekend. I've got to either follow up on Lae'zel's quest, which she's one of your companions. She's a Githyanki, which are one of the least common races in the realms. So there's a whole story there, background. Don't need to get into it. The Goblin Camp is going to be neat because goblins are kind of funky, and it's just a fun game. Without Will here, I won't get into it too much, but that's great. And then Auntie Ethel, so she's masquerading as a kindly old lady, but she's really a hag. And I don't mean that as like, oh, she's a hag. Like she's a literal, what are the ones in Skyrim? Hag ravens?
Hag ravens, yeah.
Yeah. Straight up hag raven style. Like she's out there, she's, got people chained up in her basement cave and handing you poison apples, basically. That kind of hag. So that's kind of my gameplay, has been Baldur's Gate. And only a touch of Fallout 3, but, obviously I will get more in before next week. I don't think I had anything else for this section. No, we're good.
All right, cool.
How about you, Andrew?
I've been, still making music, so game time has been few and far between. But just a couple things. I've also been sick. Jess was sick last week. I also, you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. I'm still trying to get over it. You can pardon me if you hear me coughing in the background too. I still got it in the chest real bad.
You've been backing away from the mic. It's not coming through at all.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to. But I, like I mentioned before, I prepared a game, Mapital Wasteland, about Fallout 3 map and sort of like orientation of the few well-known locations. Well, I in order to do, I loaded my character, and I just hadn't discovered any locations yet, so there wasn't much on the map to see. So
you had to turn to a regular map online, right?
No, I loaded an old character.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? My character's invisible. I have some sort of power armor on that makes me invisible. Does that ring a bell? I have Sarah Lyons with me, and I have power armor, like with the chameleon effect or something. So I'm like see-through like the Predator. And Sarah Lyons is with me. And someone else. Sarah Lyons? Is that her name? Paladin?
Yeah, I mean...
Not Paladin. Sentinel. Sentinel Lyons? No. What's her name?
Yeah, no, you're thinking of Sarah Lyons. Or are you talking about Star Paladin Cross?
No, Lyons. Yeah. She's the one with me. And she's she BOS or Enclave?
No, BOS.
She's BOS.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
no,
she's the head of the Lion's Pride. She's the reason so many of us like the Brotherhood of Steel.
I just loaded that game and I was like, my weapon is awesome. The armor is awesome. And I'm like, and I loaded my other character back and I'm like, killing these rad roaches with a baseball bat again. I'm like, oh, what's with the cool power armor and that awesome laser weapon I had?
At least you have something to aspire to, randomly assign drastically different attributes. You can do it, Andrew.
It was just funny. I was like, whoa, what the hell is all this stuff? I mean, when did we say was the last time we played? Like 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have zero recollection of what we were doing. So this will all be like new to me again. Fun. What else are we doing? 3 also. I was running around megaton, and I was like, wait a second. There's like my spidey senses going off. I think there's some sort of log or stump I'm supposed to find somewhere behind here. So I ran out behind and I find the stump, and I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the stump.
Yeah, the one we're talking
Yay,
about. Yeah,
the stump. Now, what the fuck does the stump do? I forget what the stump does. What does the stump do?
Now, where are you talking about with the stump? Are you talking about the rock outside Megaton?
Is it a rock? I thought it was a stump.
Yeah, there's a rock kind of behind the stump.
What does the rock do?
There's a secret cache. It's just got a sniper rifle, some ammo, a few supplies in it.
Because I was like, I thought this stump was supposed to do something. So I was like clicking on the stump, walking around the stump. I was like, this stump is supposed to fucking do something. Why isn't it doing anything?
Andrew
this
was
goddamn
looking at
stump.
it. Got stumped.
Stupid stump. The stump stumped me.
The stump is in oblivion.
Oh, goddamn. You're right, Ray.
Yeah,
oh,
that's it.
fuck.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
I had no idea what he was thinking of. That's perfect. That's the stump where you guys like to store stuff, right?
Yeah,
When you play
there's a
Oblivion.
stump in Oblivion.
Yeah, we're a rock. It's different. It's
It's
like
a rock.
you know.
So different. What which Elder Scrolls game in the series corresponds with Fallout 3?
Oblivion.
Oblivion. So they're the same era.
Yeah, 2006 for Oblivion, 2008 for Fallout 3, same engine. Of course, they added all the gunplay and such, but
Yeah.
even the faces are similar.
Potato faces. Yep, the I think we kind of mentioned the Fallout 3 vault suit last week a little bit, but I was looking at a picture of it. Have you guys looked closely at the Fallout 3?
I was
Vault
last week,
suit?
yeah. I love the aesthetic of it.
It's so weird how much like wiring and stuff they have on it. It's like
I like that.
It's almost like a WWF World Wrestling Federation Championship boxing belt or something that's on
I was just
backwards.
Thinking of it as more
Hilarious.
utilitarian and like tactical. Like the way we've got the vault suits in 4 and 76, they're so plain, like they almost don't even have pockets. Whereas, you know, the vault suits in 3 are wired for sound. You got the cool neck thing, you got the attachments, you got pockets.
These are more like
Nice.
mechanics jumpsuits, and the Fallout 4 that's like a skin tight, like Freddie Mercury thing. It's like a jumpsuit instead of a coveralls. Yeah, but it's just cool. They have this weird gold wire and stuff go through it. This is probably for some sort of bio monitoring system or whatever.
That's what I always thought. Yeah, that it interfaced with your Pip-Boy. I like the whole look of it.
Yeah.
As well as we talked about the Pip
The
glove.
collar
last
collar
time.
is different. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Pockets. It's got like cargo pockets.
Yeah, and then the
That's
armored
great.
variation, the armored variant. Yeah, I really like it. I like the whole aesthetic in 3. You know, being back in there, just some things look cool. Like when you're not in, you think of it as kind of like the ugly one a little bit. You know, with the green filter and the brown filter and but then you're in, you're like, no, it works.
I still can't
Really, really
tell
works.
what I can interact with, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, so you can, in Fallout 4, I already know like what sort of things that I'll be able to interact with when I approach them. Like in 3, I'm like, oh, can I touch this computer? And I go up to it and I'm like, nope, that screen doesn't interact with me. It's like,
Yeah, you'll find it won't take you too long to remember
Yeah.
in 3
Which
what's
ones?
interactable or not. But there are so many broken computers in 3 that you just can't use. So
Yeah, well, and also booby-trapped computers.
What?
yes,
God damn it.
Oh.
What?
it's like
And
the little
don't-
spring monkey.
Oh,
And don't forget the baby carriages. Avoid baby
oh
carriages.
Lord, is this that fucking
Exploding baby
Bioshock game all over again?
Yeah, it's
Yikes.
like I was saying last week, Fallout 3, the world building is so strong in it. You see exactly how they took the first 2 Fallout games and brought it forward in a way that really says the world has been destroyed. And there's all this awful stuff in it, I mean, it is dark and funny, but dark. And yeah, love it.
What was their motivation to drag it all the way across the country?
I think to give themselves room, write what you know. Bethesda is right there.
Yeah,
They're able
yeah.
to put their office area in it. So yeah, if they
I was
wanted
in
to
the
add,
Bethesda ruins today.
right, there you go.
Mhm.
So yeah, the authenticity of being able to know the place really well, and just, I mean, where else but the capital makes good sense if you want to go that way.
And see, 76 was more like a industrial accident. Was DC directly bombed like Boston was?
Pardon?
Was DC directly bombed like Boston was?
Yeah, it's the most bombed.
The most bombed? Okay.
That's, I mean, maybe not in the entire country, but that's one of the reasons why it is such the wasteland that it is. You know, why it hasn't recovered like other areas have, is because it was so severely bombed out, being the capital.
And what the fuck is a centaur? And why did they not carry that forward?
They did to some of the other games.
Did they?
Yeah, the FEV creations with multiple body parts, but it all depends upon, you know, where they were made, where they came from. I think if they just it didn't make sense for them in 4, probably. You know, that because the experiments up there were just done by the Institute with FEV samples, and the simians didn't originate there in the same way as they did other places. A little bit different that way.
And they had hounds in 4. Was the equivalent, basically.
There you go. Yeah. And yeah, which straight up FEV is used, stuff like that. That all makes sense. But the West Tech experiments, some of them led to, which is why I'm actually kind of surprised we don't see anything like centaurs in 76. But, you know, we may. And a lot of the other creatures that we do see are probably FEV related.
Yep. Cool. Makes sense. Let's see. Did I have any more gameplay? Just briefly, some shelter stuff. I checked off another achievement in Fallout Shelter. I got the acquire 20 legendary weapons. I forget what the achievement was called, but I saw that procced earlier today. And I also got Sarah Lyons as a reward for doing a Brotherhood quest. And she came into the vault and she saw the other Sarah Lyons that I'd already got on a different quest, or that she randomly came in or something. I just thought it was funny that, or maybe I got her from a lunchbox, I bet. So
Did they recognize each other?
It's weird. Like, you put them in the same room, it's like they just ignore each other. I don't know. I need to do the what's that test? The synth test called?
The safe test?
The safe
which is
test.
really just the goat?
I need to do the goat safe test on them to see which one is a synth. All right. Yeah, so that was my shelter play. Didn't do a ton of gaming. Been trying to pound out these songs. Hopefully we'll be done with them plenty of time by the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm looking up the different strains of super mutants right now just to kind of remember what they are, you know. And the Institute strain was separate from FEV2, which was the primary West Coast strain with West Tech. Then the EEP strain is the one that was used in Vault 87 here in Fallout 3 that we're going to see, where the mutants they became more and more aggressive, you know, less controlled and able to keep their intelligence.
So
they kind of get in and define all that.
What's the connection then between the West Coast and the Institute? How did the Institute get into FEV research if it obviously started on the West Coast, right? Wouldn't it have had to?
Yeah, their experiments with FEV, I don't remember if they got it from a crash. I don't remember the actual explanation there. If they got it from a crash or if they simply had access to, say, the Huntersville strain out of Appalachia and that West Tech facility, or if CIT, I almost said MIT, but CIT had some samples on their own as a, you know, college illicitly or something.
Because it was FEV was created before the
right,
you know, the apocalypse.
Yeah, they were using it to combat the plague, or trying to.
Yeah, so they could have gotten samples and then you know, worked on it from there.
If it wasn't for the Institute having FEV, they wouldn't have gotten Gen 3 synths to work. I mean, that's how they use FEV along with the flesh in order to kind of create the synth bodies, the organic ones.
I don't think I knew that. That's cool.
Yep.
Very neat. And how did the master? I assumed he had something to do with the origin of FEV.
Oh, and that was kind of the root source, right? The Mariposa military base strain and that whole group there, and
They're
West
just
Coast,
trying
they
to
were
make
the
this.
first.
They're trying to make a Captain America super soldier, right?
Yeah, he and Harold had gone into the facility together.
Yep.
And he was mutated, but Harold wasn't.
Well,
He was.
he mutated his own way.
Ghoulified.
And Harold's a weird case because he's kind of a ghoul. It's like it triggered his ghoul gene, but also triggered the mutation. Else he wouldn't have bonded with the tree. So I
later on.
Right. Well, I feel like it even took root. Didn't it take root right away? Like he had it in his head in Fallout 1, right? But just a teeny little leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it happened during the accident. But FEV, one of the big things it could do was gene splicing. You introduce it with other substances, other DNA, it can splice and merge them together and create new things. And that's the centaurs are basically, they're the sausage. They are the sausage of gene splicing.
They're the whoopsie.
Yeah. Lots of tick blood and whoopsies in there, exactly.
Did you ever see that movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito? They're the Danny DeVito.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we got a lot of feedback to get into. Did you have anything else with Shelter there, Andrew?
I've got about 3 more hours of feedback on Shelter to get into, so everyone sit back, relax, and for about 3 hours of Fallout Shelter talk. And let's get into that feedback, shall we? We make feedback. Let's check in with our good buddy Jeff here off the top. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Fallout feed. Jeff, a.k.a. Still Falling, here to introduce you all to Annie Wilkes. Annie, growing up in the vault at a young age, was diagnosed with schizophrenia and has been medicated her entire life to suppress her violent tendencies. With the medication, she's lived a mostly normal life in the vault, but after her father decided to leave the vault and she was forced out as well, she only had enough time to grab a couple bottles of her medication, and it's only going to last her about a month or so. So once those pills start running out, if she can't find anybody to supply her, things are not going to go well for her. As many say, it is very hard to play the bad guy, or girl in this case, in this game. So I wrote that into my character, the whole schizophrenia thing. Because at the beginning of the game, you kind of have to help people to start your leveling up. And you can't just be an asshole to everyone. So I'm starting out as Annie she is medicated for the first couple levels. I'd say about 15 levels she was well medicated. So I was just going around the Wasteland helping everyone around it I could find. I ended up helping out Moria with the Wasteland Survival Guide. I helped the people at Big Town deal with the super mutants. I stole the Declaration of Independence for Abraham Washington. I helped usher an agreement between the family and Arafu. Funny enough that if you have the cannibal perk, you can actually talk through some of the conversations with the family. You can get past the main gate, no problems. You could get Vance to let you talk to Ian because you tell him you are one of them. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But after that, I eventually found my dad. I helped them get Project Purity up and running. But once I started up the machine, I was in a coma for 2 weeks. I woke up, my pills were gone. I have no idea where they're at. I went back to the memorial, can't find them anywhere. So things are going to start not doing so well soon. So as the days pass, about a week and a half, she starts to not feel like herself anymore. But she's still out there. She's still trying to help people. She no longer has a goal since her father's no longer with them and they finished what they were doing. So she ends up going around trying to start to help people again. But things start to change. She was helping a synth named Harkus in Rivet City, but instead turned him over to Dr. Zimmerman from the Commonwealth Institute, which basically brainwashed him and brought him back to Boston. I tried to help a town get rid of their crazy ant lady they had going on around there, named the Antagonizer. But instead, I ended up helping her kill the town's quote-unquote superhero, the Mechanist. So, as the days go on, I'm trying to help people, but things aren't going the way that she wants. And then one night in Megaton, things got real bad. While drinking at Moriarty's Saloon, Annie was approached by a man named Mr. Burke, who claimed he had a offer she could not refuse. And in the state Annie was in with her schizophrenia starting to become unwound, and a night of drinking, she accepted his proposal. She snuck out of the bar, made her way down to the bomb. No one was around, and she placed the device that Mr. Burke gave her to detonate the bomb. Luckily, it was not an instant detonation. It was remote. So she went back into the bar, sat down, ordered a shot of whiskey from Gob, shot it down, turned, and started swinging. She just acquired a new Deathclaw gauntlet, and it made short work of all the inhabitants of the bar. Some people went running. Mr. Burke was the first out.
Wow.
Nobody got away except for Mr. Burke. When it was all said and done, everybody in Megaton except for Moira Brown was dead and laying in the pool right below the nuclear bomb. Annie Wilkes was standing on a pile of dead bodies. That night, she slept in Lucas Sims' bed, traveled down to Tenpenny Tower, and then set off the fireworks. Fuck Mr. Tenpenny for telling Mr. Burke what a great job he did, too. All he did was buy a schizophrenic young girl a shot of whiskey and then took off when the swinging started. But so far, that's Annie's story. I was rolled an unarmed character, an evil unarmed character, obviously. I have been using the spiked knuckles for about 85% of my game. I got the Deathclaw gauntlet recently, and that is taken over my main. I am a high intelligence, high strength build. Both of them are at 10 with the perks and the bobbleheads. I'm currently a level 17 with an unarmed lockpick and energy weapons all at 100. I use a plasma rifle rarely, but sometimes it's necessary at a distance. This was my first Fallout game, Fallout 3, and it's still my favorite to this day. It's been over a decade since I've played it, so I am very excited to be back into the capital. I haven't been able to put it down. I have to slow down soon, otherwise I'm going to be at the level cap before we even hit Operation Anchorage. So I'm going to slow down a little bit, but I can't put the game down. Thank you again, guys. I can't wait for the next week's show. And until then, I'll see you near the ruins of Megaton.
Is this game as expansive as, like, I've heard like Morrowind is just like the biggest damn thing on Earth. Can you waste weeks in Fallout 3? Like, is it a 40-hour game really, or is it like a 120-hour game really?
It really depends how you want to play. You know, because it's still a Bethesda RPG. Size-wise, it's smaller than some, but you can definitely, if you just want to explore, see everything, do everything, then yeah, you can play forever. But Andrew, you asked about what you can do to reduce your karma. I think you can learn from Annie Wilkes right there. Annie Wilkes right there is Exhibit A.
Blow up the goddamn town.
Well, and kill everybody in the town first. So it's interesting.
Oh, you kill them first and then blow up the town just to,
extra negative karma.
Piss on their ashes as they're fucking dying there, of course.
Yeah, poor Annie. So that's quite the background he did. It's funny, Jeff has done so much already, jumping in, doing the entire main story.
He finished the game. He's done.
Yep. Well, or just starting, depending. But yeah, because like obviously, he may not. Can't tell if he did all the Wasteland survival stuff. He obviously didn't resolve the Power of Adam quest and defuse the bomb until this point later. Jeff is streaming some over on Twitch again, like he did before.
Nice. Good.
That's still Falling 97. If people want to go back, because I was lurking one of his streams a bit the other day, if people want to go back and see him attack Megaton, I think it's like 3 days ago or so, 3-4 days ago. So the VOD will be up for a little while. But yeah, I've never seen someone go through with a Deathclaw gauntlet and destroy Megaton before. It's quite the sight.
That sounds like a blast.
It was afterward.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's quite the story, quite the RP. And I think it's going to be an interesting change for how he tackles all the DLC on this evil character. But he will have to slow down his playing, otherwise he'll be done the DLC in a week or two.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, so killing a non-evil character is minus 100 karma. So, I mean, there's probably maybe 18 to 20 people in Megaton.
Yeah, it's got a decent population, and most of them are good.
Yeah. And then taking out Megaton is minus 1,000 karma.
It really adds up. Clint says, killing them before you destroy your town, it's a decent thing to do.
It's true.
It's the decent thing to do. But yeah, okay, that's
Now,
some awesome feedback.
Is it going to be like, oh, hey, you are an evil character and you approach our town. Now everyone is hostile at you just because you walked in the city limits. Like, is it that sort of thing?
Some will be. Your reputation will precede you. Or your karma will precede you, but not everyone will know. You know what I mean? It's just word of mouth does spread after a while. But Tenpenny Tower, you're fine. A few other places, you're fine.
It's not like a bounty in Skyrim or whatever, where like you walk into town and the guards are like, hey, you sneak thief. Stop.
No.
Good. Okay. Yep. Thanks, Jeff, for your feedback. Looking forward to hearing about Annie's continuing adventures. Again, that's twitch.tv/stillfalling97. If anyone else out there is streaming your Roundtable experience, I'm more than happy to post your streaming link at the top of our episodes. So,
yeah, if you're in the
go ahead
Discord,
and do
drop
that.
it. A lot of us will pop over from Discord too.
Yeah, and if you are listening to this in podcast form later, you can always look down right now at the description episode and see all the people who are playing along right now if you want to see their adventures live. All right, let's see. My notes on Jeff's feedback here real quick. Let's see. He said you have to help people early on. If you want to level up, they don't like it if you're a bad guy, I guess. Let's see. Annie was on meds. Let's see. He mentioned is it Harkness who was the synth? Is that right?
Yep.
Yep.
That's cool. I have two of him in the vault as well, but that one actually makes sense.
Yeah, because he is a synth.
Yeah.
The replicated man. Yes, how perfect is that?
That's funny.
Replicated in more ways than one.
Yeah. And he mentioned the Mechanist and the Antagonizer. I'd forgotten that they were a Fallout 3 reference. That's funny. I'm excited to see what that's about. He also had all of his perks up to 100 already. Did you guys make that a priority for your Roundtable characters? Will you distribute any points evenly, or do you only cram points into those 3 that are like you're assigned? Was it skills, perks? I never know what the correct words are. Skills. Do you always level those up to 100 first, or do you sort of, pepper in others as well?
Yeah, I usually layer it in because there's certain things you want to be able to do. Some of it depends on what perks you were assigned, because you may have to level up a skill that you wouldn't necessarily do otherwise, but in order to take the perk, you need to have the qualifications to do it.
Yeah. In Fallout 4, we have to get on with it more. You know what I mean? Like we have to specifically focus on getting our special to the point we need to be in order to get the skill we need to get. And so our first 15, 20 levels are often, mostly mapped out for us a little bit in between. This is a bit easier. So like, your tag skills, I'm mixing them in too, is my general plan. I have, like you're mentioning perks. I have to get medicine to 60 and I have to get science to 70, but that's by level 16. So I've got time.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at mine right now. I have to get agility to 4 and intelligence to 4, which I already have both of those for gun nut, and I need luck of 5 for fortune finder, and I already have luck of 5. I don't have to put any points in any. Okay, I'm covered already. Cool. All right, I had not looked ahead just to make sure, but all right. Now we know how this works. I'm just figuring this out like everyone else. I'm learning as I go.
Exactly.
We'll play a little Fallout 3 here. Let's roll in.
We've heard from people already, like, oh, I found this because of talking through on the show. So that's great. Calm Horizons, this is their first time playing and first time sending in feedback later, too. We're going to hear from them in a little bit. Sweet. But they mentioned how, they learned about that stone, or stump, as some might call it.
Fucking
because we talked about it last week.
Damn it. I was sitting there kicking that stump for a fucking half hour. Why isn't this working?
Whacking on it with your bat.
Fucking Oblivion. That's why, you idiot. God, I was playing the wrong game. Let's see if Nana Janet can make me feel better.
Hi guys, Nana here. Just thought I'd send in a little feedback on Fallout 3. When you announced it was going to be the Fallout 3 DLC playthrough this time, I was like, oh no, I have just was on the verge of finishing a Fallout 3 playthrough to get all the achievements. So I decided I'm going to play along with you guys anyway, but I'm really going to do an achievement run just to finish the ones that I need. So I went back to a save when I was just exiting the vault and just changed a couple things from what I was using. One of the achievements I need is to get 50 speech checks. So I raised my charisma, started it at a 7, raised my luck to a 6, took my strength up to 6, left everything else kind of low, and decided for my first perks, speech, small guns, and lockpick, because I can't stand not being able to get into stuff. So I left the vault, went to Megaton, and thought, I need to get to level 8. I've already got the achievements for being good and neutral, but I need to be evil, and I'm going to blow up Megaton, which I've only done once before. So I went in, spoke to Mr. Burke, said, yeah, I'll blow it up for you. Then I went and told Lucas Sims, not realizing that I now could not blow up Megaton because you lose the part you need to blow up the bomb. So I kind of just went on my way, went through most of Moria's quest, although if you have a high enough speech, you can leave her, go on your way for 24 hours, come back and lie to her and clear them. So like she wanted me to go to the Super Duper Mart. I left, I came back, I told her, yeah, there's nothing there. And that one was done. I did that
Lie
twice.
to Moira.
I had to do the mole rats.
Nice.
And I had to do the Mirelurk one, which I hate, but luckily I had a couple stealth boys, so I went in there with that.
Nice.
But then decided that I'd go ahead and do Lucy West and go to Arafu. So I went through all of that, went to the family, didn't want to do too much bad stuff there. So took Ian back. He went back to Arafu. Everything was Jim Dandy fine there. But of course I didn't have lockpick up high enough to get the bobblehead, which I need all the bobbleheads too because I missed the one that you do at the Enclave, which was bad news. So I thought, well, I'll just do the main quest line mostly and see if I can get my karma bad enough to be evil when I'm level 8. Well, I couldn't. I got to level 7.5 probably and thought, now what am I going to do? So, like the bad girl I am, I went to Arafu and I killed everybody. Well, yeah, that got my karma to evil. So I just went on my merry way, continued doing a few quests, went to Robco for Moira, and while I was there, it procced level 8 being evil. So then I went back to Megaton, repaired the bomb. So now my karma is neutral, which I need to be neutral and good at level 14 to get those 2 achievements. So I'll keep you guys updated on where my achievements are, and I'm kind of excited to replay the DLCs, even though I just did them. All right, talk to you again in a week. Happy wastelanding.
Did she say she repaired the bomb now? She blew it up.
Yeah, because she had,
blew it up and repaired it?
No. She
What?
She gave away the part to blow it up. When she went to and talked to Lucas, he takes the fusion device from you, and so then you can no longer blow it up. And he must incinerate it right away, because even though he marches right over to Mr. Burke, when you loot his corpse, it's not on him.
He's a magician. Poof.
Yep.
50 speech checks. Is there a hack to that? Is there like a, if you go to the boat, if you go to the boat, or they're like just like some weird way to, I don't know. Was there
level your speech? It's not that hard. You just got to get a level or 2.
And she did charisma and luck. That's good instincts on speech checks there. Did luck have anything to do with speech check?
Not so much.
There's special oriented speech checks, but they don't help the regular percentage speech checks.
Right. No, it's probably just where she's slanting her character. She didn't say if she had rolled a new one for us with this, did she? Is she doing the one that had just finished the playthrough to do the DLC, or?
No, I think she said she started a new one.
Okay.
She went back to right when you leave the vault. She had the save, and she said she tweaked the character that she had just played.
Oh, perfect.
And increased the charisma and intelligence for because she needed to do the speech check achievement.
And so a little tip for anybody doing the Mirelurk nest quest for Moira.
Bring clarified butter.
Don't go through the door. If you jump in the water,
yes,
and swim down, there's a little entrance to the facility underwater, and you can swim in. And as soon as you come up, there's 2 nests right in front of you, and you can place the monitor in the nest, turn around, swim back out, and you're good to go.
Yep, that's the way to go. I mean, you can go through the whole thing and try to be really stealthy. And as Suliore says, don't take a companion. Like these are all good tips, but Ray's way is definitely the easiest.
This is for the survival guide, Moira's book.
Yes,
Moira's book. Sorry.
Yeah, she wants you to place a monitor in a Mirelurk nest.
It's great. I like all the different pronunciations of Moira's name too, because we're getting Moria and all that. It's like speak,
Moira,
friend, and
Myra.
enter.
Yeah, speak, friend. And then, how do you say friend in Elvish? Melloc. Or Melon or whatever. Oh, right. Thank you, Nana Janet.
That was some awesome
yes.
feedback.
Looking forward to it all season. Right. I hope
She mentioned that she hadn't gotten the bobblehead at the Enclave. So that's the Energy Weapons bobblehead. Is it right in there with, I mean, we have a few first-time players. So
yeah, I think you have to.
It's in the big room?
You have to. Is it there or in
the other place?
Colonel August? I think it might be in his room.
Colonel August.
Colonel Autumn.
Are you guys speaking in code, or what is happening here?
No.
I just like his accents. Colonel Autumn. I just said August because Ray did, and I was not thinking.
I didn't. I always mix him up.
We're gonna hear like Bellathor and the Huntress and Ayla and all those people. But we're gonna hear those voice actors all over Fallout 3.
A lot of them are in here.
Yeah.
That said, Desdemona isn't, right? Ayla, I mean, isn't. Because was she doing stuff with them yet? I don't think she was. That's Claudia Christian. And I don't think she was in Fallout 3. But we'll definitely recognize some voices because they had
whatever that guy's name is, he's all over the place.
They had their 6 main voice actors for Oblivion, and they increased it a bit for Fallout 3, but it's still much more limited. It wasn't until Skyrim that they started actually broadening and bringing in more and more people.
It's still more and more. Like they went from 6 to 12.
I mean, well, there's a voice for each race and gender, and then there were some one-off characters,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a revelation when you heard a different voice. Like when Serana first showed up, and we got the Dongar, we're like, whoa, that's not the same voice.
It's not one of the same 6 voices. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Let's see who's up next. Let me check the show notes. Or Jessica, tell me. Suliore. All right. Let's check in and see what our good buddy Suliore's been up to.
Hello, fellow Wastelanders. Eric, a.k.a. Suliore here, and here we are with another roundtable, and this time with it being Fallout 3. I know I've expressed this on social media, but I'm so freaking excited that we're doing Fallout 3 this time because it's been at least 10 years since I've had a full Fallout 3 playthrough. I'll do my best to keep this around 5 minutes, but you know how it is with me. And I'm already at level 9, so I'm probably going to have to skip a bunch of crap if I'm going to be able to do that, including my build. Well, here, I'll say a little bit of what my build is. So my stats are pretty good. They're all pretty average. I think the only thing I got below a 5 was perception, and that was 4. Everything else is pretty good. My perks are chem resistant. So I need to get my medicine up to level 60, and I'm already pretty close to that. I think it's in the 50s. Ninja, I'm still working on. My melee and my sneak both need to be 80, and I think they're in the 50s as of right now. And Little Leaguer, I've already got that up to level 2. And then my tag skills are speech, explosives, and medicine, and my karma is write your own path, so I can do whatever the hell I want, and I've been pretty good. I've been good. Also, I'm a female. I named her Katrina. I don't know why, that just kind of came to me when I was being born, and then I realized that your mom's name is Catherine, so I guess I'm a junior. Anyway, yeah, I've never played as a female before, so it was kind of interesting hearing James call me Sweetie instead of Son. And then everybody freaked out when Butch punched me at my birthday party. Like, how could you hit a little girl like that? I'm like, what? I punched him too, so whatever. I don't care. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting that everybody's like, how could you hit a little girl like that? been playing mostly melee, which is interesting because usually I go ranged with assault rifles and things like that. But that damn bat that you get right at the beginning of the game is actually really good. I think Jess mentioned that on the show last week. Yeah, I mostly have been kicking ass with that baseball bat. Went into Megaton and immediately disarmed the bomb without even thinking about it. Usually I have to level up a little bit before doing that. I didn't even, like I said, didn't even think about it. And then I'm like, okay, let's go say hi to Mr. Burke. Oh, by the way, I've been streaming my gameplay again quite a bit. It's been pretty awesome getting back into that. And yeah, Mr. Burke wasn't there. So it's like, okay, oh, right, yeah, because I already diffused the bomb. Having that house is awesome. Like having that right away, go get injured doing the Wasteland survival guide, just come back and sleep, which I've now completed the Wasteland survival guide, which took me to Rivet City. Like I got the information from Moriarty to go talk to Three Dog at GNR, but then I went to Rivet City, which kind of I basically did things out of order. So I go to Rivet City, talk to Madison Lee, and then I'm like, all right, I really need to go to GNR so I can get the radio up and going. I go to GNR, and there are no Brotherhood of Steel outside fighting the Behemoth. Like, there was no Fat Man, there was definitely the Behemoth. But there was no Brotherhood of Steel with a Fat Man outside. So I basically hauled ass inside, talked to Three Dog, and he gave me the quest to go to the Washington Monument and replace the satellite dish. So I went to the Museum of Technology, replaced the satellite dish, and now GNR is up and running. And that's basically all I did. I went to Arafu and met the family, convinced what's his name to the brother to come back to Arafu, and I have finally crafted a shish kebab. So I've replaced my bat with a pretty kick-ass shish kebab, and things are looking up. So also real quick, I cleared out the fire ants and went down and talked to the doctor and blew his head off because I really didn't like how he was treating the kid. It was his responsibility that everybody in that town died, including that kid's father, and he couldn't be bothered to help the kid because, that's not how science works, and he just didn't give a shit about the kid. So, didn't care for that, and I blew his head off. So, anyway, that is the Cliff Notes version of what I've been up to, so I will see everybody in the Wasteland.
Well, that sounds like a calculated and measured response. Blow the guy's head off. Right.
Perfectly commensurate.
Suliore, thank you, sir. Speaking of Butch, he was talking about Butch. I recall when I was leaving the vault, I was kind of rushing through all that scene. But I think I heard in passing as I was approaching Butch, intimidating Amada, does he threaten to expose himself to her? Does he say, I will show you a real tunnel snake or something? What a fucking
or it
creep,
could be threatening
dude.
more than that. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, they're being pretty aggressive. You know?
Yeah. All right. So I didn't feel bad about letting his mother die, right? I don't have to feel bad about that.
See, I mean, he gets better. Obviously, Butch can get better. And you're his best bud if you help save his mom.
Well,
because he has no friends.
I was just sort of testing the evil thing. I thought, if I let his mom die, maybe I'll lose karma. That didn't lose me any karma, letting her die. I thought I'll be a dick. That'll let me lose karma. Nope, that didn't do it. So. You actually need to kill people, it sounds like. So, wait, could I gone in there and killed her?
You probably would have lost karma for that, yes.
Oh,
unless it's not active during the tutorial, but I think it is. Depends how far you've gotten. Yeah, if you haven't gotten that far.
Can you kill Butch right there?
Oh my, no. I don't think you can. No, he should be essential.
Yeah.
He's gonna be pretty mad at you though. You won't get his jacket.
Oh, yeah. I'm so fuck the greasers.
I love them.
Stay golden, pony boy.
Stay golden. So yeah, Suliore's already gotten the mission to go to Vault 1 Hope. He talks about doing it out of order. So because he was doing all of Wasteland Survival Guide, got to the point where it's under Rivet City, but he hadn't found Three Dog and all that. When he went to Rivet City, he actually went through, started exploring, and he talked to Dr. Lee, Madison Lee. And so once you do that and you find Madison Lee, you get info about your dad from her and can advance the quest. And so that kind of closed out the whole marker, the quest marker that he had for, go find Three Dog, information about your dad. So when he went and actually did that, he was missing some quest markers. So that's what he was talking about during the thing. He kind of had to run up against a behemoth. He streamed some of this too. So I jumped in and watched him stream some of it. But he had to go against the behemoth, and he didn't meet the rest of the Brotherhood he should have met there originally. So he went running through screaming while the behemoth killed him once or twice. He made it into the building, into GNR. And then once he got into GNR, the behemoth actually spawned inside at first. Then when he reloaded, it didn't. But that was a different sort of thing, losing that quest marker by jumping ahead in the quest.
How did he get... And did he have to audition to get into Guns N' Roses? How did he get into GNR?
After Slash left, it was they're desperate.
But it was the Buckethead era, I think.
I forgot about that. Oh my goodness.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much, Suliore. Let's check in on the list here. It looks like, first timer, and we support that, of course. All newcomers, welcome. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for hopping on. Let's take a listen and see what Vanessa's getting up to.
Hi everyone, this is Vanessa. Submitted my first ever Fallout Roundtable feedback.
Thank you.
So I did play Fallout 3 many years ago. I had it when it first came out, had it on disc. Just beelined the main quest. I'm not even sure if I finished it. I definitely didn't play any of the DLC, so this is kind of a new experience, I suppose, in that respect. I'm playing the game on the Steam Deck. I think probably the small screen is helping with its kind of aged appearance, although I have got some visual mods in as well. It's looking pretty nice. It's running well. I'm about 10 hours in, I think. I've had one crash, so I can't complain. For my character role, I got a fairly even spread on the specials, 5s, 6s and 7s across the board. I have given myself a little bit of latitude. I've dropped charisma right down to 1 and put the extra points into intelligence. I normally like to play a kind of jack of all trades character in games, so I just wanted the extra skill points. Mm-hmm. My tag skills are energy weapons, repair and medicine, so pretty happy with those. Probably would have chosen small guns and sneak if it were entirely up to me, but yeah, not too bad, can't complain. My alignment is good. My assigned companions are Star Paladin Cross and Dogmeat. I haven't really got like a role-playing sort of hook for my character. It's a female character. I've given her a little foible that she's not going to loot armour from dead bodies. She's just come out the vault, which is obviously all pristine. She's come into the Wasteland and she's just a bit squeamish about it. She's not going to kill someone and strip them down and pop their clothes on herself. So, but I don't really know what sort of direction I would take her in with roleplay. I'm not really very good at that type of thing anyway. I'll have an idea and then just revert to my normal type once I get playing the game. In terms of what I've done so far, I did have a random encounter as soon as I left the vault. I went up towards Megaton and then just before I went into the town, headed off towards the river just to have a little look around. I came up on a scene of a Deathclaw attacking a Wastelander. So I checked in VATS. The Deathclaw had about 4 health bars, so I thought perhaps it was like Fallout 4 and Concord, and it was a weedy Deathclaw that I could take in a fight, but no, it wasn't. Or it may have been, but it killed me anyway. So a very early quick reload. And then I just headed into Megaton and started picking up some of the quests around there. So as I mentioned, energy weapons is one of my assigned combat skill. I haven't really used it yet. I've been using a mixture of small guns and melee. Wouldn't really normally do melee, but in the interests of the spirit of the round table of stepping outside of your comfort zone, I've been giving that a go. It's been working quite well. I've been enjoying it. So I've done, so far I've done the 3 chapters of Moira's Wasteland Survival Guide. So up to Minefield, I picked up Dogmeat on the way back down. So I've had him. I've been down to Rivet City, so I picked up the bobblehead. I swam down there for the Moira, the Radiation quest. What else? Blood Ties. I've picked up Blood Ties. I've done that. I found in that actually Dogmeat is a beast in Fallout 3. Obviously Fallout 4 is quite squishy, as we all know. He's a kind of handsome boy in Fallout 4. Fallout 3, he looks like he's going to rip your throat out, and yeah, he lives up to his
It's a
more
junkyard
aggressive looking
dog.
appearance. He was sort of tackling Mirelurks, sorry, I forgot what they were called then, tackling Mirelurks up by the river on the Blood Ties quest. Again, I did the quest with the fire-breathing ants over at Greyditch. I had to dismiss him there, obviously at the end of the quest where you kill the 5 guardians but want to keep the queen alive. I couldn't stop him attacking her. I tried, telling him to stay, leading him further back down the tunnels away from her, but nope, he wasn't stopping, so I had to reload and dismiss him. So yeah, very different experience with Dogmeat compared to Fallout 4. That's about it. So I'm just coming up on level 6 now, just about to hit level 6. Perks I've taken so far, I did take some. Having put my charisma down, I did take a level of intense training, popped a point into that. I've taken comprehension and I forget the name of it, but the one that gives you a couple of extra skill points each level. I'm probably next just going to head up past the elementary school and clear that out, and then pick up the main quest for a little bit and head over to Galaxy News Radio. So yeah, that's what I've done so far. I'm enjoying it a lot. And I'll look forward to checking in next time. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Dude, awesome. Great job, Vanessa. And that's how it's done, everyone. If you want to do your first submission, take notes. Vanessa just did a wonderful job. And you know what, guys? She even recited the ethos of the Roundtable within her feedback. Did you notice that?
Yes, in the spirit of feedback going with the melee and such. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Spectacular. Looking forward to Vanessa. It's been a long while since I've played as well. So everyone's jumping back into Fallout 3 from long ago. I saw you take note of it, Jess, but I also thought it was cool that she's not going to scavenge any armor off of dead people. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, being a bit of a priss, I totally understand that, because we all can be in some ways. My friend Shreds, we were just talking about it today. She refuses to learn any mole rat recipes. She will not eat mole rat in Fallout 76 or Fallout 4. Like, mole rat, strictly off the table, literally. And so we all kind of have those things, and those kind of things are a foundation of a great role play. You don't necessarily need to be a storytelling role player to role play. I've always been kind of quasi in between. I don't tell stories like some of our friends, like Jacob or Will, or some others. Jen often does. And I don't. I'm not just the facts and stats, ma'am, like Steve often is. Although he adds a little bit of role play flavor too, but in a different way. We all have different ways of doing it. So picking a few peccadillos, foibles, and ways your character might, approach situations. That's a perfect sort of thing, because that's how you get that different experience. And also, you're right. It's grody. I mean, I'm sorry, but putting on somebody's old ass combat armor is grody.
Well, the necessity what's the saying? Necessity dictates. I forget what.
Is the mother of invention.
I don't know if that's the one I was going for or not, but yes,
I don't think it
that
was.
Too. All right. Awesome.
Greg Zappa is the mother of invention.
Yes,
Ray,
and the mothers of invention. Perfect.
Ray,
All
did you have anything on that one?
No, I think it's certainly going to be a challenge, because your armor breaks down pretty quick. So
Yeah.
that'll make it a good challenge.
You'll have to use your caps and actually repair, you
Yep.
know. Yep, that makes sense.
You
Yeah,
have to-
and
have to
there
buy
are
it
a
and-
lot of opportunities, people that can do repair, kind of littered around. So it'll be interesting. It's always fun to add that little extra, challenge to a game.
Mhm.
They can be a lot more fun that way.
She also,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, she also mentions dog meat being a beast, that junkyard dog. And yeah, playing Game of the Year edition, I assume, because once you got Broken Steel, and that, that's when dog meat got the extra hit points, and you got the puppies perk, and all that stuff. He's much more durable and aggressive. Otherwise, yeah, you got to tell him to stay a lot, because he will throw himself right into the mix.
And he can straight up die in this one, right? He doesn't take a knee, right?
He can die, but as long as you have Broken Steel, it's tough, especially as you level up. The longer you have him, the more durable he is, because he does level with you, and he ends up at like 15,000 hit points as you level up.
So get him early on.
Yeah, what? I think maybe it would not matter. I think if you got him at level 4, it'd be like if you had him at level 2 and got to level 4. I'm not sure on that, but I'm pretty sure. But still.
Cool.
If he's going to die on you, it'll be when you first get him, most likely. Or, you're just attacking a behemoth and run away and let him take all the damage.
Do it, dog meat. Fight him.
I'm going to wait and get him just before we start the DLCs.
Mm-hmm. That way
So
he's
that
safe.
For what reason?
That way, and he's never with me.
Exactly.
So do you need him for the DLCs?
No.
No.
Then why would you bother getting him at all?
Because he's assigned.
He's-
Well,
he's-
can you get him and then, accidentally, you turn a blind
no, he's
eye
so
and then
much harder
something
So
happens.
much harder to kill now.
Unload the DLC.
Andrew,
What? Sorry.
I
we're
do not like
we're
the
not
suggestion.
talking about dog aside. No, I'm not.
Thank you. No dog aside. There's no need of it. You can just get him and leave him at home.
All doggos are safe on the Fallout.
But man, does Fallout 3 dog beat pant a lot. All the time.
You need that quiet doggy mod. Wait, that's a Skyrim thing, isn't it? To make Barbas shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and some of the others. Yep. They still bark, but it's much quieter.
All right. Okay. Awesome, Vanessa. Thank you so much. Let's continue on with Calm Horizons. Also a first-time feedbacker here. Welcome.
Hello, my favorite Fallout folks. My name is Matt. I go by Calm Horizons on the Discord, and with me I have my son Nicky. Say hi, Nicky.
Hi.
He is here to keep me company so that I don't feel so awkward sitting here talking to myself. This is my first feedback ever and my first time ever playing Fallout 3. So pretty excited about that. For my random roll, I got a male character. I named him Sterling. For specials, I got a strength of 3 and an endurance of 4. Those were my low stats. And then for my high stats, I got a perception of 9 and a luck of 8. My tag skills were big guns and barter and science. Never done big guns before in any of the Fallout games, so that's going to be fun. I decided that I wanted, instead of doing a chronological telling of everything that I've done, I've just tried to cherry pick a couple of the stories that I thought were interesting to listen to. So here we go. So, for the birthday party, Butch is there and he wants to steal my sweet roll. He wants to fight me over it, and I don't want to give him my sweet roll, but I also don't want to fight. So I just run away, and I run into a corner, and the Mr. Handy is there, and so I kind of run behind Mr. Handy and think that I can just keep the robot in between me and Butch, and eventually the adults come over and they stop him, so I don't have to fight. I get to keep my sweet roll. Hooray! So then, get through, get out of the vault, come out of the cave, step out into the wasteland, and I gotta say, everybody talks about it, but it was extremely impressive to come out of that cave and just see that barren wasteland there with the Washington Monument and the Capitol building all destroyed, and the distance. It stopped me in my tracks. I just stood there and took in the sight for a little while. It was pretty impressive. So go to Megaton, do a bunch of stuff in there, end up hooking up with Moira. She wants me to do all kinds of things. I think the first thing that I chose to do was to go to the Super Duper Mart. So heading over there, I'm expecting ghouls from Fallout 4, but it's raiders, but I'm not very good at killing things right now. So it is a real chore to kill raiders one by one. And it's a close thing every time, but I make it to the back. I kill all the raiders and make it to the storeroom to get the food and the drugs. And in the back there is a Protectron. And I think, well, what in the world is this Protectron here for? I've already finished this place. So I got all the stuff. I'm walking out of the door of the storeroom to go into the Super Duper Mart again. And here the raiders come back saying, what's going on here? And a cold chill runs down my spine, and I immediately turn around and run back to the Protectron and turn it on so the Protectron can go and kill those raiders for me, because God, do I not want to have to fight a whole new batch of raiders. So sneaking behind while the Protectron is going killing the raiders, and it kills most of them, doesn't kill them all, but thank God I had that there. So I was able to kill the last of the raiders and get out. So this, times 2 of running under the protection of a robot because I can't fight my own battles. Anyway, so working with Moira, head to the minefield and find all of the parts for the shish kebab out there. So that's nice. Let's see. Okay, so then the mole rats and the repellent stick. So go to the mole rats, got the repellent stick, use it on the first mole rat, and its head explodes. And I think, my God, finally I'm given something that's actually useful. And so go through this whole thing, killing the mole rats, killing the raiders, and make it back to Moira. And she says, how did the repellent stick work for the mole rats? And I said, it's amazing. It makes their heads explode. It was a wonderful thing that you've done. And she says, oh no, that's horrible. And oh, oops, I did not realize that it wasn't supposed to be lethal. Sorry, I guess I got a little too excited there, but it was just happy to finally feel like I could do something for once. So then she sends me to go deal with the Mirelurks, and I'm not supposed to kill any of them, and my sneak is terrible. So I just decide, all right, I'm just going to pump myself full of medics and just run through the place and plant the camera and run out. And it went exactly according to plan. I was really surprised that I had no trouble there. Just ran in, planted the thing, and ran out. They were all chasing me, but they're just as fast as I am, and I didn't stop moving, so it was fine. And then finished the rest of Chapter 2 for Moira and picked Rivet City for Chapter 3, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep going with the main story, so headed over to the GNR building and get outside the GNR building, and that's when the behemoth shows up, and they're shouting at me that they want me to pick up the fat man off the dead soldier to kill the behemoth, but the behemoth is charging at me, and there's just junk and dead people everywhere, and I don't know where this fat man is. So again, I just run away and I run for the barricaded entrance to the GNR building. So the behemoth comes in the courtyard and just keeps pounding the 2 essential Brotherhood soldiers over and over and over again, and they're not really doing any damage to it. So I end up getting my Chinese assault rifle out and just absolutely spraying bullets and finally bring the behemoth down. And go inside and talk to 3Dog and get my level up. So I am now level 6. I have a science of 50, a barter of 40, big guns at 32, and melee 41. This has been pretty fun and very intimidating. I feel like the game is not nearly as hard as it feels because I just don't know what I'm doing. I think I haven't really had a whole lot of trouble. I'm unfamiliar with the game, so everything is scary for me. But anyway, thanks for the opportunity, and I can't wait to keep going. Bye-bye. Say bye, Nikki.
Bye.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Matt and Nikki. Very nice to hear from you guys. I really like the repellent stick.
Yeah, it is very violent. He's not wrong there. I mean, it makes sense that Moira didn't expect it to be quite as effective as it is, but it's a fun surprise when you use it, and her reaction is priceless.
Yeah. I mean, after all, she thinks it's a repellent stick.
Well, what it did was pretty repellent. It's if I remember, it just says "poor little mole ratties."
Yeah,
I love that line.
And he said you can find all the shish kebab components out in the minefield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the best places to get them early on. But they're pretty ubiquitous. I mean, that's why Ray's saying he makes his own. Pilot lights are most every stove.
Yeah.
Motorcycle handbrakes and gas tanks a little less, but still they're out there.
Yeah, they're out there. Big town's a good place to get them. Minefield. Somewhere I was just at, there were several.
Now, he didn't get to 10 Penny Tower in his feedback, right?
Didn't sound like it.
I think in the Discord he had mentioned that's where he was going to go next, hearing about the ghoul mask and stuff. He was intrigued by that. So probably heading that way. But yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of the ghoul mask so far.
A lot of people hitting level 6 or so. 6, I think he's up to 7. Vanessa just said she was 6. Of course, we've got some that are a little bit higher, of course. You're at 11 and stuff. I'm only at 4.5. I didn't level at all.
It's definitely a deadly game. It's really easy to die.
It is.
And, like you said, he's not familiar with it. So, there are some things that, that can make it a little easier, but especially if you're not used to a game where your weapons and armor degrade as fast as they do in this game, because your Chinese assault rifle, can go from, hitting, 4 out of 5 shots to hitting 1 out of 5 shots in a hurry.
It can be pretty intense, for sure. Weapon degradation is something a lot of people complain about and they don't like in games. And I mean, I agree. It's not a mechanic I really like either, but it does make you think. And it does force you to use other weapons too. And that part is kind of cool. Having to, I don't know about you, but I always keep 3 or 4 weapons on me. In Fallout New Vegas, I had 5 that I was rotating through by the end,
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I've got a Chinese officer sword. I've got the stab happy. I've got the shish kebab. I also carry a silenced 10 millimeter and a Chinese assault rifle. And so, I mean, you're constantly having to, find things that you can, whatever, group of combatants that you're dealing with, you kind of got to roll with whatever they've got so that you can keep your weapons up and running. Especially, I mean, Super Duper Mart, to have that as such an early quest in the game, because there's like 5 or 6 raiders out in the parking lot.
Yeah, they're serious.
And then there's 5 or 6 in the first wave inside. And then, surprise, the backup comes.
Right. It is a bit difficult, but it's a good introduction. I find it easier than Minefield still. Just that you have to travel so far to Minefield, you run into some pretty difficult encounters on the way, or you can.
Yeah. But glad he's having fun and great feedback.
And good job, moral support.
Yeah.
It's he's been in the Discord for a long time. We've been talking Skyrim and Fallout over the years. I think when he first joined, he mentioned that he was a Skyrim player, but we've been talking all kinds of Fallout for a while now. So that's awesome.
Well, kudos to our 2 new feedback members. I think both of you did a wonderful job, and please keep the feedback up all season long. Love to hear from you. Let's see. We have, one more? Yes, we've got Lou with his second submission already. You can tell Lou's a little bit excited about Fallout 3 here. Hey, Lou.
What's up, guys? Do a quick feedback here for next week. A couple things I forgot about to mention on my first character is it's hard to play evil. I'm neutral. My first round is evil. That shit was difficult, like in my stomach, like doing bad things. I blew up Megaton. I killed Tenpenny. I didn't let the ghouls out. I just killed Tenpenny, and it was challenging. I didn't like it. It was interesting to come back to the game and not like something like that. Maybe I said this in the other feedback, but whatever. Like, because my current character, where I let the ghouls out into Tenpenny's tower, that was hard. And even when I killed Butch in the vault, like that felt wrong, even though Butch is kind of a dick. But I also kept that save point just before the outside of the vault, so I could just kind of boot in quick. Though that started my karma off low with my new character. I'm a neutral, but I'm actually evil, and I'm having a hard time getting to neutral again because I let the ghouls out. I love hearing your guys' gameplay because there's so many things I don't realize you can do. When I went to speak to Roy Phillips, I just spoke to him. Basically knew that I could steal a key. Went back into Tenpenny Tower. Down into the service area, the basement area, and hacked the terminal by eating a mentat. So I was able to let the ghouls in, and they went in and killed everybody, and I went in and looted everybody. And I've been stealing a lot too as a neutral. I feel like stealing's kind of like how to keep yourself neutral, but letting the ghouls kill everyone was pretty damning. And also the negative karma at the beginning from taking out Butch was pretty damning as well. I did fix the bomb at Megaton, but I'm still evil, and I need to fix that. I've been giving the guy water. I gave him like 4 bottles of water. I'm like, when is enough water to make me a good person? And he would probably tell me never, because the motherfucker won't even take dirty water. Man, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, but I guess this guy's holier than me anyway. Definitely. So, I don't know. Just a couple little things. You got listening to the feedback, like the podcast right now, and I always forget and say, "Oh, I'll do it a few days later." Then I'll totally forget what was on my mind. So, another thing to remind folks is Mentats for any kind of perception, maybe intelligence checks. But like, I was able to disable the Megaton bomb with a Mentat. I had to get a level up, put 4 points into explosives, and then the Mentat, I think it pushes you up 5 points. That worked really well for hacking. It works well for maybe lockpick and the explosives trait. So yeah, do your drugs, kids, because they're helpful. Just kidding. As well, in my speaking of the drug thing, I look at it. Generally with Fallout, I look at the drugs as more of a combat or game point enhancer more than I'm a drug addict going nuts. I guess the reality is we're drug addicts in game going nuts, doing psycho and everything. But I always take everything. Like when I go into a combat, I'll take buff out, psycho, jet, whiskey maybe. If it's a melee character, I'll do the booze. And I usually get addicted to things like very often because you can't take them regularly and get away with it, really. So, as Ray said, he got the infirmary in the house, and I did that too. I also got the laboratory. One of them heals. Well, I think one does the addictions, and the other one does like rads and health and stuff. So getting those two going is very helpful, so you don't have to go find a doctor or pay the doctor after a while. I think it's 100 for for addiction, or 50. It's just easier to be able to do it on your own. So yeah, I mean, disarming that bomb is pretty. You only need 25 points. Mentats gives you 5, I believe, so you just need to get to 20 points on that. I mean, there are a couple other things that could like kick you up a little bit, whether it's a magazine or maybe some glasses or something, but that's how I was able to do it without really focusing on it, and then that gave me the house like instantly. I mean, I was able to do that pretty early, and then the way that I stole everything from Tenpenny Tower and Sergeant RL3 pack-muled it back for me, I had plenty of caps for those items at Moira's place. But yeah, I think that's all for my what I forgot feedback. Like I said, I don't want to over level. I'm a level 5 or 6 right now, ready to go. Yeah, one other thing I can remember is when I did beat the game on the speed run, I was level 13 when I beat the game, so you can do it too. Very hard is difficult in the first few levels, but if you're focusing on what you do, then you should be able to circumnavigate it, especially if you're just focusing on any particular circumnavigate the challenge of it. Especially if you're focusing on any particular combat ability or speech. I mean, go melee speech and you just wreck the game no matter what. You max those things early and the game is basically easy mode. So definitely for roundtables, I try not to take speech because it's just too easy. You can just talk your way out of everything. And if you have one combat ability that you focus on and you have a decent weapon, you pretty much are good to go. So play on very hard. Yeah, I think you should play. I think you should bite the bullet and click that thing up to very hard because you can do it too. All right, guys. I'm really enjoying being a part of the feedback again after my hiatus. And yeah, the last time we played Fallout 3 was 4 years ago. That's like basically when I started with the podcast. And COVID and stuff. I was just dove into 76. I started listening with the Game Stack or that Fallout show, and then I found you guys, and something about the version of community you guys cultivate just is inclusive, and I really appreciate it. I really do. So have a great night, and we'll see you all in the Wasteland.
Oh, dude, Lou, we appreciate you, dude.
For sure.
The community thing, you say we cultivate a nice community. Well, we couldn't do it without the community part, you guys, you know? So come on. Give yourselves a hand, everybody. Scratch your own, or pat your own back. Scratch your own backs, everybody. Ugh.
So it really sounds like Lou needs to confess his sins.
Uh-oh. What'd he do?
Well, I mean, he's doing all these evil things.
Yeah.
And really to get himself back on the right path, he should go to, did he say that he blew up Megaton? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, so then he's going to have to go to River City. There's a nice little church there. Father Clifford, will, help you deal with your evilness, and for a small donation, you can change your life.
Does he baptize you or something?
There's a church donation box in Megaton and in Rivet City, in the two churches there.
Huh.
Church of St. Monica.
And it's a 1-for-1. So one cap gets you +1 karma.
You can literally buy your way into heaven. That's amazing.
Your way. Exactly.
Huh.
So,
or at least out of hell.
If you're, if you've blown up Megaton and sent the ghouls into Tenpenny Tower, you're going to have to make a pretty sizable donation, to the tune of about 1,600 caps. But
is that a lot in Fallout 3? It's like in 76, I'm like, that's 2 days worth of, the train station grinding.
At lower level, it's a lot, but like any of them, as you creep, so do your caps.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So sounds like Lou needs to go to church.
Needs to get
Get
his
thee
mentats.
to a nunnery.
Very nice, Lou. I liked his sort of addict versus enhancer analysis of chems too. He's like, I never use chems like an addict, just really to enhance the situation for battle or speech. So I was like, well, yeah, isn't that how most people use it? Like the only person I know who's like done that is Steve, because he role plays to use the junkie perk or whatever,
Yeah,
the junkie
junkies was
legendaries things in 76,
for a while.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if anybody really
That
just
will- that
role
always-
plays, wakes up and takes a psycho, just because I'm addicted. Psycho.
Yeah. It always reminds me of the George Carlin bit about dudes doing cocaine, because it accentuates my personality. And George Carlin says, well, but what if you're an asshole?
It makes him more of an asshole. Oh, joy. All right. And I need to get that laboratory and stuff too. That sounds like a great
Yeah, they're
resource.
pretty handy.
You don't have to find doctors and shit.
Not only will it cleanse your addictions, but it also gives you a random chem.
I was gonna say it produces chems too, right?
Yep.
You can't craft them, but they're like a random one pops out or whatever, right?
Yeah, once a day.
Very cool. And can you just sleep 24 hours and sort of abuse that and get a new chem and just keep sleeping and wake up and get a new chem? And
Pretty sure. I typically don't use them. So
what is the drawback of blowing up Megaton?
Well, one is that your house is in Tenpenny Tower,
Which is not centrally located, right?
No.
That's in like the southwest corner of the map, right?
Yep.
Where
And
is
then, And then where I can never remember where you find Moira.
She's over at.
afterwards.
I mean, you can find her in the pit in Megaton at first. Then she goes, to Underworld.
Okay.
she's not a ghoul.
She would be after you
Yeah.
at Megaton.
Oh,
Megaton.
right. Oh, you turn her into a ghoul. Okay.
That's how she survives. Yeah, I've never done it, of course, but that's what happens to her.
No, I'm gonna have to do it just because I'm an evil character, but that's
You don't-
totally out of my comfort zone.
Have to, but that'll be very different. So
Yeah,
maybe,
it'll
maybe
be.
you want
yeah,
to.
that'll be something I've never done before. So
The amazing thing about Moira Brown is that even after, she's ghoulified, she still keeps her melodious, harmonious voice. That doesn't change. She doesn't get ghoul voice.
a ghoul voice.
No, she doesn't.
So let's see. Drawbacks is your home would be at Tenpenny Tower, but you can still set up the laboratory and stuff in Tenpenny Tower in your quarters there.
I think you can still accessorize the suite. Like I said, I haven't done that route.
Yeah.
A lot of other people have though, but I am pretty sure you can still accessorize your suite. Yes. There's also more facilities on premises in the building in general as well.
Then in town, I assume town had everything you could want, right?
Yeah, Megaton has a whole lot there, and then you can add plenty more. But like if you want your own workbench and you don't have it in your house, you can get that at Moira's. Same kind of
You
thing.
need a workbench for
You,
it.
you do
You're
get a Mr. Handy
crafting ammo
named-
or something.
For making those custom weapons and stuff. Godfrey is your handy at the Tenpenny Tower Suite, so you can still do that. And yeah, you can get home improvements. You can buy them from Lydia or Michael. So yeah, you're good.
And there was a handy at Megaton too, right? And that property?
Yeah, that's Wadsworth.
Wadsworth.
Like Codsworth with the W.
That's funny. Oh,
I think
boy.
that they like the name so much. They're like, man, we got to do Wadsworth again. We can't do the same name, Codsworth,
Yeah, that's so much different.
because it's Massachusetts. They got a lot of cod there.
Cad.
Cod.
Yeah, Cad's right.
Mhm.
Oh, right. Lou, That was our last feedback. Thank you, Lou, for the feedback, sir. Looking forward to your adventures all season long. What else we got on our show notes tonight, you guys? We've got some iguana bits and some game time. Let's play a quick game, and then we'll roll into iguana bits. Yeah, we're getting long in the tooth here, so
We're getting long in the tooth. Let's go. It's a feedback week, so.
Well, maybe we'll push the games. Let's roll right into the
We got to do Mapital Wasteland.
Okay, yeah. It's not that one doesn't ever take very long anyway. We can knock
I'll get
that
lost
one out
without
quick. You're so funny. All right, you guys. We know how this works. I'm just going to ask you which location on the map is more extreme in a particular direction. So, Ray and Jess, Mapital Wasteland, of course, means we're in the capital wasteland of Fallout 3. So, please tell me which is further north. Buzz in with your name, Ray or Jess. Further north. Raven Rock or Oasis? Raven Rock or Oasis?
I'll go Ray.
Ray?
Raven Rock.
Jess, would you like to steal? That's not really a steal situation.
Yeah, so we weren't doing Buzz in last time. We were alternating.
We're alternating.
But I guess
right.
I'll go with
All right.
Oasis. They're both almost exactly parallel, though.
Yeah, I chose close ones this time. All right, so we'll just go back and forth then. Jess, so you'd be up now. Which is further south? Rivet City or Tenpenny Tower? Tenpenny Tower or Rivet City?
Tenpenny Tower is slightly further south. Maybe.
It is. You are correct. Good job, Jess.
Okay.
Ray, back to you. National Archives or the Washington Monument? Which is further east? Washington Monument or the National Archives?
I'll go with the archives.
The National Archives is correct. Good job, Ray. And Jess, to close out Mapital Wasteland, which is further west. Go west, young man. We talking about Robco facility or Arafu?
Oh, another hard one because they aren't really that far west, either one.
Yeah.
I think Arafu is slightly further west.
Ray, would you like to see? No, just kidding. We're gonna do Robco is just so slightly a little bit further west there. Yeah. I chose ones that were close, but like not close together, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yep, it does.
So
yeah, that's what you did last time.
I was being a little jerky to you.
Right near the edge. I mean, well, actually, two of them were, but in this case, you got both of them that were both near the edge. So,
all right, guys. Thanks for. Oh crap! I forgot to play.
What time is it? Game time.
We can play it as an outro. Thanks for for playing there. Hey, Jess, I think we need your attention.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up. Okay, well, thank you, Jess. I've got a nice bit of community iguana bits here today, so let's get into that. First thing I want to shout out. So our friends, Nino, Alex, and Chelsea. Alex and Chelsea were. So let's back up a bit. Okay, Fashnacht is happening right now. Fashnacht is a live event in the game, but Fashnacht just happened in real life. And a whole bunch of friends traveled there. A number of people from the Twitter and online community we know, a number of people from our group that we actually know, including Alex and Chelsea. And so there were pictures there of them in the masks, and a bunch of people made masks and joined the parade and, got dinner and all kinds of events. Really fun meetup with a lot of people. It was really fun to see that. But I wanted to mention them because we had retweeted a couple of their tweets about the outfit. Alex did a normal man mask, and Chelsea did the coolest Mothman outfit with a really detailed mask and then a whole full body thing with wings. And the Fallout account loved it so much that they retweeted it, and then they put it on all their socials. So over on Instagram and over on Facebook and all that. So yeah, I thought it was great. I was wondering before, because we've retweeted their stuff, and when they've done things, and I'm like, oh, I hope he's not embarrassed that we're just sticking it everywhere. But no, now the whole Fallout account did.
He's internet famous.
Exactly. Congrats on that, guys. And the outfits were awesome. And A lot of people went down. Just awesome outfits. So Dumplin Head, she hasn't been on the show before, but she sent in some written feedback before. Dumplin Head had an awesome Scorch Beast mask, like just some really great stuff. So Foshnocked happened. The real thing was a good time. And in the actual event in game, I hope people are having good luck. So the drop rate this year, we wouldn't know here on the Fallout feed because none of us have been playing Foshnocked much. Plenty of our listeners have, of course, people talking about it in the Discord, getting the rare mask stuff on different systems. I've only played on PC myself. I actually jumped into PC to grab a picture for my Fallout ABCs, but I'm doing either Fallout or Starfield every day with my photo challenge. What'd you say, Andrew?
I said nice.
Yeah, good times. And so I was on PC for that because I can run on the PC in 1440p. And sometimes when I want to do like a picture that needs to be more detailed, as much as the Series X is awesome, and that's where I take the vast majority of my pictures, when I want to do something like that's more zoomed out, or I need to get a big overview of terrain and stuff, I'll often go on PC for that. And so yeah, over there I got not the witch, the goblin. Like the witch would be cool because I don't have a witch on. I might have a witch on Xbox, but I definitely don't have it on PC. But no, got like goblin. But there are some new plans, and people are saying the drop rate is a little better than it has been. There are the cool new glowing masks as well. So you've got regular masks, and you've got these glowing masks now that a lot of people are after.
Is it the same masks, just with a different paint job, basically?
They're the newer ones, though. So the same mask, but new ones. So you've got the glowing Scorch Beast Queen. Mm-hmm. You've got a glowing Scorch Beast. So there's a queen and a regular. Ooh. You've got a glowing Blue Devil mask. So the Blue Devil is one of the new.
Nice.
It's not blue, though. It's kind of a weird name. So glowing Blue Devil, but it's like red and brown.
Huh.
Have you seen this one yet?
No, I don't believe so.
Then they have the glowing honeybee mask, and I think that's my favorite. It looks kind of like a ant head with a bee, but it's got like a mustache. It's got like this big ass honeybee mustache.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a funky looking mask. I love it. Exactly. And so I think that they must have made the drop rate a little bit better because there's non-glowing versions of this, and people are reporting they're getting a lot of the new ones. I mean, maybe not as much as they would like still.
What's your drop rate? You've done it one time. What was your success rate? You remember what mask you got?
For rare, yeah. Like I was just saying, it was the goblin, I think.
Goblin, okay.
So yeah, nothing special, but we'll get there.
I got the Scorch Beast one on my first and only run. I don't know if the Scorch Beast Queen. I think that's
been a decent drop for people. So the non-glowing Scorch Beast one, right? The regular Scorch Beast one?
Yeah, the regular Scorch Beast Queen one. It's got the little crown on it.
I feel like that one must have a slightly higher drop rate because I've heard from a number of people that was one of the first masks I got in their first couple runs.
I got it on my first run. And only, yeah.
I think it's because they released these ones in the uncommon pool. So previously new ones kept going to rare every time. And now the glowing ones are rare. But the regular honeybee, Blue Devil, Scorch Beast Queen, those are all in the uncommon loot pool. So that must make them a little bit easier to get. I said goblin and witch. That's why I was confused. So the hag is the one that I don't have on PC. The witch that looks like a goblin is the one that I did get. The common one.
The hag, not the witch that looks like a goblin.
See, they're different.
Get confused.
Know your hags, okay? This is a life skill people should know. If you run into an old lady in the woods offering you like weird, mysterious treats, know your hags. Should you take it? Should you not?
Don't eat that. Don't eat that.
Don't eat that. Words to live by. So that's community Foshnock stuff. I did mention last week that Xbox was going to have their at the time, we didn't know what form it was going to take exactly, but it was a podcast. So with the big uproar in the Xbox community about games crossing platforms and all the stuff we had talked about before, I brought it up on Iguana just because of the fact that one of the big rumors was, well, maybe Starfield could come to PlayStation, which, of course, a lot of our people would like, not just for Starfield, but, of course, for Elder Scrolls 6 when it comes out. A lot of our listeners are big Bethesda fans. We want Bethesda games on all platforms. I get that. That was before the actual talk even happened. That was kind of debunked. The person who had been spreading it the most said, actually, the information I got on that was bad. Starfield is not coming. Like the whole thing escalated beyond control, like we kind of already talked about a little bit, and then people retracted half of it. Well, when the actual Xbox podcast, it was done on the official Xbox podcast. We had Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Sarah. I apologize. I forget her last name. The new president of Xbox. So the three of them were there, and they were basically talking about the future of Xbox and diffusing the rumors. Honestly, wasn't a whole lot announced there. So here's what was announced. Nothing involving Starfield, so it's not as relevant to our audience, but I figured I'd wrap up the story. They did announce that there would be 4 games, unspecified, not named games, that are going to be coming to Switch and or PlayStation from the Xbox exclusive category. 2 live service games, 2 smaller games that need to find an audience, and rumor has it that those are going to be Grounded and Sea of Thieves, which our Sarah plays Grounded, and I know some other people do. Sea of Thieves is very popular in the community, so those are fun. And then 2 smaller games being most likely Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush. I love the Heck Muffins out of Hi-Fi Rush. Really fun rhythm game, good animation, great stuff. And Pentiment was actually Josh Sawyer's adventure game. So if that's something you were interested in playing, Josh Sawyer, of course, being at Obsidian and lead writer or quest designer on Fallout New Vegas and many of their other games. So yeah, that's going to be fun if those come over. Those are the ones. Also, Diablo 4, which I really enjoy the Diablo games, and a lot of our crew does too. Diablo 4 will be coming to Xbox Game Pass next month, March 26th. So that'll be the first Activision Blizzard game officially being added to Game Pass after the acquisition. Probably going to be more, but that was a big announcement. Besides that, it's mostly just stuff for Xbox players and fans. So I won't get into everything there, but most likely Game Pass is not coming to other systems. They have more than 10 Xbox first-party releases planned this year. Considering you only know about 5 so far, that's actually pretty major. But it was essentially assuring people that no, if you were aware of the uproar and weren't aware of the resolution, no, people were exaggerating. And Xbox isn't going anywhere. And yes, they are making a next-gen console. And yes, it's going to be powerful. And yes, they are bringing their games to more platforms, but they've always kind of said they want to put more games, more places. So, if they make anything not exclusive, I do hope for our audience who is still on PlayStation that includes Bethesda games, at least Bethesda Game Studios games. We will see.
Well, you can play on Switch, so why not a PlayStation, right?
Exactly. The only other thing I had on my list to talk about, which I'm probably going to not get into too much, I'm like, I should update people on my fantasy league draft, because I just want you to know, if you thought, man, my girl Jess, she's going to be doing awesome in her fantasy league. She must be winning.
Yeah.
No. Right now in the Min-Max League, Pugs and Pixels Studio is currently projected for 4th place out of her 10 people. 10 people in my league. I mean, that's not too bad.
That's good enough to make the playoffs. That's fine.
Here's what happened. Okay. I took a big bet. I took a wide swing. Okay. My first game, a Little Guardians, kind of small. My next game, I'm like, you know what? People don't think that Skull and Bones is going to do that great. But I have faith. I have friends who've been playing the beta. Skull and Bones from Ubisoft, delayed a bunch of times. Pirate game. People love pirates. They've had time to polish the game. It's going to be better. Well, no, it's coming in currently getting scores of 64 to 70. Like, the median is 70. If you're below 70, you're losing points. So I might be losing points on that. Also, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, only getting about a 78 average on OpenCritic right now, which isn't bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you expect that a Nintendo game is going to hit in the mid-80s. So that is not coming in as well as I thought. So yeah, I am in 4th currently on the Min-Max League, and then on my other league, I am at projected 7th place. But I'm sure that's a mistake. We're gonna make background, y'all. We're gonna make background. God, look, we've got a big fat -10. I'm gonna close that window. I do not like that. Skull and Bones. But that's all my iguana bits this week. Just fun stuff happening. Looking ahead on the calendar. I say that's all, but looking ahead on the actual community calendar for Fallout 76, we do have a double XP next weekend. The Pug is very excited. He's ready to grind. Double XP coming up the 22nd through 26th, and double mutations as well. So might want to grind, but maybe not on the ops. and Fosdoc will continue until the end of the month, that being the 27th. As I was informed the other day, there is still a leap year, so we're going to have 2 more days after that.
Woohoo!
I know. I had no idea. I don't keep track of that.
Remember my friend Joey's mom was born on leap year, so when he was like 10 or something, he was older than his mom.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I have a leap year friend too, leap year baby. And she jokes that she's like 12 or whatever it would be.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah, no, she's almost 12 now. Wow. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We getting old.
Don't say it.
But no, I don't have any more Iguana bits. Just fun stuff happening out there in the community. Thank you, everybody, participating in the Fallout ABCs. It's been pretty active on Twitter again. That's been nice to see.
Speaking of getting old, I got a pair of fucking bifocals the other day. I'm creeping up there, you guys.
I moved my couch closer to the TV on Tuesday night. I have never felt... I'm like, I need to moisturize. I need to take my ibuprofen. Like, I am... Yeah.
She moved the TV closer so she could see better, and then her back hurt the next day. That's
that's exactly what happened. You're not wrong.
That's the drawback.
Only about 9 inches closer, so I could still get to the door. But I'm like, this text is too small.
Oh God! Speaking of too small, freaking Vanessa mentioned she's playing on the Steam Deck. Is that what it's called? Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I was gonna play some Fallout 3. On my little setup, you know, like have my little controller with a clip and you put your phone on it and everything. I cannot see shit. The font on Fallout 3 of any conversation or anything like that, so super tiny at the bottom of that screen. These games are not meant to be played on little horizontal phone screens and stuff. Need the big screen experience. But I was going out of town this weekend. I was going to play a lot of Fallout 3. I don't know if I can on this phone or not. Ooh, maybe I can put it through the iPad. I'll try that. See if that'll blow it up a little bit.
I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Play it on pretty much any screen that can connect to the internet to play via the cloud.
See if I can pry it out of my son's hands for a few hours. Good luck with that, getting the iPad out of his hands. All right, you guys. Did you have any other topics pertinent for this episode?
All good here.
Good to go.
And in that case, you can find him over there on the Twitters at RayLB. Also, for all of your No Man's Sky needs, at BBCISSS. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on.
Good times.
You can find her at SleepIs4T. Also, at You Wastelanders. And at Dames Who Game. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on.
Thank you.
I can be found at Indie Android. The show is at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. We'll see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
I love the Heck Muffins.
Laboratory. Do your drugs, kids.
It's really easy to die.
There's just junk and dead people everywhere.
Can you milk a tick?
In the interests of the spirit of the round table, of stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Everything was Jim Dandy fine.
You can milk anything if it has nipples.
Like the bad girl I am.
They can give it to you all at once.